But then she said to him, I don't know what's going on. Then oh, hey, we're live. Okay, let's go, everybody. We were just gossiping, not about anyone in particular, Greg, but that's fine. So we not Greg here, Greg London Bridge. So it's a very special Saturday. We're not usually here on a Saturday. Well, I'm not usually here on a Saturday, but today's a special day because we have Greg from Brickitect, who I've been trying to get on for a long time, and schedules are all over the place because guess what? We both have kids. We're dads. And underneath we have Craig, not to be confused with Greg. It'll get worse later, believe me. There'll be two Gregs and a Craig and a BFAB probably. So first of all, hello to you, Greg, Brickitect.
Thank you for having me, man. I was telling Sai before we started this, I've been wanting to come on this forever, but his normal day and routine is like right when everything's going crazy here. So I appreciate you doing a Saturday one and having me on.
No problem. How's your day been so far?
Really awesome day so far. It was my son Clark's first soccer game today, or football, as I should probably call it here. And it was pretty neat. It was awesome. And then I got to come back, and now I'm building Iron Man. So we'll see how it goes.
Wicked. And Craig, how's your day been so far?
Chaotic.
Yeah,
trying to organize this mess that I've started on these live streams. That's why. But other than that, all good. All good. Good to be here. Strange time on a Saturday night, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's an unusual time as well because it's 5 o'clock and I've already had dinner, which is weird, and I'll be starving later on. You probably had your lunch already, Greg.
Yeah, I just came home and ate for the first time. It was like brunch fist, I guess you'd call it. So I'm feeling good right now. We're good.
That's good. I had soup, and I haven't had soup for ages. And I blew the soup, and I blew it on the spoon, and I blew it all over the laptop, up on my glasses. Yeah, it was fantastic.
What are you like?
I know. What am I like?
Like a YouTube short in the making, right there.
Now, speaking of YouTube shorts, when I started doing YouTube shorts, oh, here's BFAB. Hey, BFAB.
Hey,
Yo.
BFAB.
Hello, y'all.
Howdy.
Are you well?
Just killing. My mother's like, go get me water, and I'm like, fine.
We were just talking about shorts, BFAB. Now I started doing shorts probably close to a year ago, and I like doing shorts and they're brilliant and everything else. But I saw somebody on the panel doing their first short ever. Yeah,
I finally did it. Yeah, it was
Greg,
like
you sold out.
I guess so. Like I'm building this giant Bugatti, which I'll show you what it looks like right now. It doesn't look like much, but what I've decided to do, being that this has been sitting around for like a year waiting to be built, I don't want to get overburdened by this and like burn out on it. So I decided to build one bag of this a week. And I was trying to figure out a way to like share that with people. So I decided I'll just do a YouTube short and be like, here's bag one. I got it built. And then every week, like I'll come back and we'll have a little bit more until the very end when it's all done. So I thought if I'm going to do YouTube shorts, this is
Greg, I'm so glad I didn't see that video. I would have unsubscribed, disliked. Okay.
Hey, I only unsubscribed from you, not the other way around.
Greg has like the most. I think he has like the record for unsubbing to me most. Greg's like, oh yeah, I'll resub. Like, Greg, you unsubbed. This is like the third time.
I haven't unsubbed for at least 2 weeks, BFAB. Okay.
Thank you. I'm so glad because my channel's dead, Greg. So please don't kill it more.
Hey, did you see my idea for you? You had a poll. Or a post.
Did. I liked it. I want to do like vlog type content because I feel like that's a good idea, but I have such a boring life. You know, it's like, here's what it'd be me eating, me laying down, me going to work if I don't get fired, and then like me going to the tanning.
Yeah, but you got to think about what's in between. You're not just going to take a video of you going like that. Like, I mean, you're going to be. It doesn't have to be you getting up.
If I'm not at work, I am laying down in my bed on Discord calls every once in a while, or I'm just laying in my bed watching Netflix for hours, like, or drinking. That's literally what I'm doing.
You don't want to do that.
Honestly, because as a guy that like I record a whole bunch of things in my life, there's always something. Even if you think your life is super boring, there's always something in that day that is special and like that you can make a little story around. I guarantee it that something happens.
Let's see. I like to set fires to paper for fun.
Yeah.
And I burnt my bed one time.
I would watch
I
that.
still remember I was on a Discord call and I was lighting paper on fire because I was bored, and I dropped the paper and I burned myself. Like, oh my goodness! Everyone was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry guys, I just burned myself."
Almost burning the house in another. Come here, what would you do to say hello to some people in the chat? First of all, we've got Nicoletta here. Hey, Nicoletta. We have Lorraine, who's the wife. How's it going? And we have down here, we've got Mama Lego. How are you today? She said, good afternoon, BFAB, which is cool.
Hey, I
love BFAB being around. Storm Chicken is here. We've got Chris. Did you change your name from yesterday, Chris? No, Chris and Jaden Watford Lego shop tomorrow. Chalice. So he changed his name every single time he comes on, which is pretty interesting. Keeps me entertained. Glenn Millet's here. And did you hear Lego has cancelled the upcoming huge AT-AT set? Really didn't know that.
I have not heard that. I don't know where your source is from, but I have not heard that.
And we've got Lockdoor. Hey, Lockdoor, how's it going? Lego Madness is in the house too. Brick Scene is up out of bed. It's really, yeah, exactly. It's early or late for you. Brick Scene's in New Zealand, so he probably woke up to wander around the house and go to the toilet. Nick B's here too, and who else did I see? Fooling with Bricks. Barry is here also. Fooling with the bricks. Greg, so what we'll do is I want to ask you a few questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So basically, first of all, for anybody who's out there and maybe they don't know who Brickitect is or what it is, who are you and what's your channel all about?
Oh man, that's a good question. I'm still trying to figure that out every day. Basically, my channel is me trying to rekindle my childhood hobby of Lego, trying to relive those moments when you had no cares in the world and you just built Lego all day and made things that you really enjoyed. That's what it started out as. And then it became, once our son came along, it became like us sharing this journey together of him learning to build Lego and me, I guess, still learning to build Lego and just like having fun together. And I try to like make videos about that and share that with people to show what it's like to be a father and son team that like actually likes each other and does stuff together, right?
Yeah.
And,
you like Clark? No,
I sometimes being all the time. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I just try to have fun, and I have a vlog channel too, so it's just kind of like documenting my life, and then this channel is like documenting my life within Lego, and I love it.
So what I did was I put the links to Greg's channel in the description below, including Greg's World, which is what is Greg's World and which came first? Greg's World.
That came first. Man, the real long story that probably no one wants is that right when like YouTube came out, I got really into watching like vlogs of people. Like it was really interesting, like watching these people that were daily vlogging and like seeing their life and feeling like almost like you're a part of it. Like you get to know everything. And it was back before people were like millionaires vlogging their life, where it was like actually relatable people. And I loved it. And when we bought our first house in 2011, I thought, I'm gonna make a vlog. And I started doing that. And we got a puppy around the same time, who we still have. And that video kind of took off. And about a year later, I was still making videos, and YouTube reached out and invited me into their partner program, which was like their monetization thing. And like, I started like getting money from YouTube, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like this thing that I really love, I can make money doing this. So I was just doing it like crazy. And then eventually it started keeping up. The money started keeping up with what I was making at my job. Simultaneously, my job got a lot worse when I took a promotion. And I was making more money, but I was working more hours. I was miserable with my life. I was missing out on pretty much everything in it. So I made that jump from working in finance to making videos about my life with my son and our Lego collecting journey. And that's what we've been doing for about 4 years now. So that's it. And every day I wake up just excited to do whatever it is that's on my heart to do that day.
You can tell you're having a lot of fun with your content. Yeah, and like it's clearly an experience where you're bonding with your son. And I feel like a lot of people I feel like Greg kind of started, at least in the Lego space, the whole like family market. Like it was such a niche thing. Now a lot more people are doing it because I feel obviously inspired by you. But yeah, I feel like it was a new kind of genre that you started.
It was tough at the beginning because up to that point my channel was just me, and I always tell the story about how like when I first brought my son on with me, how many people were like angry about it and like hated having him. And now it's like, if I make a video without him in it, people get upset. So it was interesting to see that that's changeover happen over time. It was really crazy.
Do you think there was maybe a when you brought Clark on more, do you think there was a turnaround of some people? Do you think some people left and some people came in?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, obviously that's going to happen eventually again too, because as Clark grows up, this like he's not going to be 50 years old, and we're sitting here doing Lego videos. I just like the way I see it is it's just going to transform into whatever it is. Like there's no like real goal here. It's just like today, like I want to build this Iron Man helmet and hang out with Sai and you guys. So that's what I'm doing, and it just is what it is. You know, if there's people that want to watch, that's great, and if there's people that's not their thing, YouTube's a pretty big place. You know.
Yeah. I can't wait till like Greg's nursing home vlogs happen. You know.
Yeah, I'll be in my wheelchair building Venom or something.
A while ago, maybe about 6 months ago. Now you probably won't like this, Greg. I went back and watched a load of your old 6-month-old videos and stuff, but no, they're good to have, and I'm really glad that you have them there, because I'm never going to get rid of my old ones, because I think it's nice to look back. But when you started, you must have been in a Lego world on YouTube full of people younger than you. Okay, so how did you, when you were doing that, did you think to yourself, what am I doing? Will I stick with this? You know, why did you choose Lego to make videos on? And did you feel out of place, or did you just know nobody?
No, I knew nothing and no one, and there really was no like plan, like, oh, I'm gonna target this demographic or whatever. It was just me buying sets, and I've always like tried to get them on like a deal and stuff. So I'd be doing a lot of that, and then I'd make videos about it, and that was really it. And like no one watched them. I remember days I was excited for just a few hundred views on a day, and I was like, yes, this is awesome, and it's crazy to see how far it's come.
I think it's crazy seeing like the transformation of like how you've changed as a person, in the sense where like I still remember when I first started chatting with you maybe 3-4 years ago. Like I've known who you were for probably I think the last 6 years, but like you were like, I'm not going to spend any money on Lego unless it's like clearance or a deal, and now you're just like, I'll just buy a set. I don't care. Like
yeah, there was a time when I was like, I would think about, like I came from a video gaming background, and I'd be like, if I can get an Xbox for the same price as a Lego set, that Lego set's way too much money. But then eventually I kind of threw that out the window, and now we're just going all in. And I have no regrets. So
until you see your bank account, you're like, why is there only $5 left in my bank account?
That does bring me on to again, why Lego? Because you've told us before on different videos and live streams, so you had a really good job and stuff like that, and obviously eventually you're able to make money on YouTube. Why did you choose to video your Lego sets? Did you see somebody and go, wow, that's pretty cool? Or were you like me, kind of, I'll explain why I got into it, but like I did it more or less just for me, and if anyone watched, fair enough.
You know, going back, I think it was like 2013 when I started it, and for me it was more about documenting. All of this is like documenting, more or less. Like my goal in all this is to create like a time capsule that I can go back in and watch, whether it be sharing my life or things that Clark's doing or whatever it is. And that was mostly what it was. But most of all, like I just need an excuse to actually do this. And the same thing with gaming. It's like, I feel like if I was just sitting here building this and say we weren't doing this, or if I wasn't creating content from it or entertaining people, it would be hard for me to justify it, because it'd be like, no, what's going to come of this? All of a sudden, when I'm recording it and sharing it, and you get that feedback from people, and obviously like the money comes from it, that all creates like this, and it's been very dangerous, but it creates this vicious like cycle of like, wow, I want to do more of this, and I want to do more of this, I want to do more of this, and like it's gotten me into trouble, because I'm very bad at finding balance. And when you find this thing that you love to do, and you do it for a hobby and a living and all these things at once, you can get way off on the deep end of like, I actually like need to not do this like 20 hours a day. So I've been trying to find that. But the thing that brought me back more than anything into this particular hobby was that my childhood was nothing but Lego. Like I don't remember my first set, but I remember having like a box basically that I would just dump out on the floor, and I'd build stuff out of like endlessly all day. Like hours would fly by. And then when I'd get a set, I would build that and immediately tear it apart and like build stuff out of that. And it was just like, that was my childhood. And I think like maybe a lot of people out there can relate to this. A lot of it is just like trying to get back to that, where there was no worries and you live this carefree life of just being just a builder, I guess. So I'm just like, I just love this, you know?
Well, do you know, you got me into making YouTube videos because I was watching you for ages. I used for my first kind of Lego YouTube exposure was I got into minifigures. So I'll give you the quick breakdown. So we were out one day, we're in one of the stores, and we're going down this aisle with pots and pans. And I was with my family, my wife, and the two kids at the time. And at the very end of the aisle, there was this green display stand, and it said minifigures. And there was this guy with this kind of dagger. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Wasn't into Lego at the time. Went down, we had a look. And my wife said, what are they? And I said, well, they seem to be Lego minifigures in a bag. And she was like, oh, no. So the kids wanted some. So we got some. And she said, what if they get doubles? And I said, well, I'll take them. In my head, I was like, woo. So that spiraled into like, hope, feeling bags, making sure we're getting doubles. And Lorraine kind of going, well, there's a lot of doubles. Yeah, sorry. So our mantelpiece became like just full of minifigures. And then that line went down onto the TV stand. And then I was like going, oh my God, there's so many. So I've so much Lego. Oh my God. And it spiraled. So I, in my head, thought I was a Lego minifigure collector only, until they released the Flash in one of the sets. So I said, okay, I have to get him. So I went to the shop, came out, and Lorraine was like, that's a set. And I was like, yeah, but the Flash is in it. And that just spiraled into collecting. But then I was curious, is there anyone else doing this? So I looked online, Lego, I just put in Lego or something. But eventually I came across Jabbo, and he has loads of different channels, as we all know, but I was watching him his trains, and I was fascinated with all these trains. So I typed in Lego trains crashing, and that brought me into all these other things. So he was the first person I subscribed to, as far as I remember, Brickstar. But then in the recommendations, there was like this guy dropping these Lego sets, and I was like, oh my God, why would you do that? Have a look. Drop test. Turns out it was Ryan. Never heard of him before that. And I was like, oh my God. And he would drop these things multiple times. And it was fascinating. So I subscribed to him and, a few different people. But ages after we moved house, and I was watching, I found you through Brickstar, because I think you sent in mail. And he read it out, and he said, okay, yeah, Brickitect's a great guy. Go and check out his channel. So I did. I don't usually, and I did. And I was like, oh my God, this guy, he must be my age, and he's pretty cool, and he's awesome. And then you got like more, as BFAB said, you got more confident and less like all of us when we start. You weren't as, we were a bit robotic when we start, aren't we? We're scared, and we're like, hi, how are you? And you get into your trousers more. Is that an expression? Anyway, you get into yourself a little bit more as you go along. It's not an expression. Sure, it's not. No one gets into their trousers.
Inside your head, I think is what we would say. Like you get stuck inside your head.
And then as I started to watch you more, and we started to interact in live chats, whatever, you were like, people always asking, how do you start your YouTube channel? And you were always, every time I watch, just started. And this resonated, and I was like, oh my God. And then I just started because you like were giving like the vibe. So I said, go for it. And it just went on from that. And then Greg from London Bridge Bricks, he gave me, the kind of push to do live streams, and now no one can shut me up. So it's a journey, all right.
That's so cool. Proud of you for doing it. I try to make more people start a YouTube channel than anybody actually wants to. I try to I think my passion exceeds the bounds of me, and then I'm just trying to get everybody to start. But you really have to want to do it. And you've obviously you wanted it. You just needed a little push, and I think that's pretty cool.
I studied TV and directing and presenting in college, so I kind of had a little bit of knowing what I was getting into. I remember the lecturers saying, just look in the lens, pretend you're talking to your granny or something, and that made it a bit easier. But I talk to myself anyway when I'm not even in front of the camera. Lorraine, like, who are you talking to? But like, oh, just myself, and I'm bonkers anyway. But yeah, I mean, anyone who thinks, it's scary or whatever, you're in the room talking to yourself, and it's, once you put out your first few videos and get those first few views, you feel awesome.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Like I'm 100% an introvert. I would consider myself to be socially awkward. Like I get very nervous around new people. And like, if I were to do what I do right now, like to know that there's thousands of people watching this, or even tens of people watching this, if they were sitting in front of me here in chairs, I would literally die. I would die. But to sit here with a camera and to know that you ultimately have control over what you want to share. Like you could sit here and mess this up 55 times, and I've been there, and then make that one time where it was actually worked. A little bit harder to do when you have a 6-year-old with you, because like when things are happening, they just happen. And for me, that's actually beneficial because I am a perfectionist, and I'll sit here, like when I do missing pieces, I'll sometimes do the introduction 20 times. But if Clark is here with me, I have one time that we're actually going to do this, and that's it. And it's so much better for me. That's why I love live stuff, because there is none of that being inside my head or trousers where you're like, oh, I'm going to do that again. That was no good. That was no good. I just want to be like, I'm here and it is what it is, you know?
Yeah. I'm just going to say hello to some people that dropped in. Imperial Bricks is here. Tommy Dempsey, Life Boot Boy 22, I think I said that right. I saw the daughter, AT's Life is here. How's it going? And All Bricks Counts here. Shazam. Joe is here. Hey Bricksish, good to see you. Mayo Hosco is here, and Jabo's not here today, Mayo Hosco, so stick around anyway. But yeah, so that's how I got into it. For you, who were the first friends you kind of made through your channel? So I mean, for everyone kind of gets people commenting, and you comment back on your first 2-3 videos, but who did you kind of like interact with, or who found you and started to talk to you first?
I remember being desperate to find people myself. I, of course, subscribed to Jabo, my favorite YouTube channel, favorite Lego YouTube channel. And YouTube wasn't doing a good job of helping me find Lego channels. So I would look through the comments on his videos and looking for people that had like Lego-ish names. And then I would just click on it to go see if they made Lego videos. I remember Lego Freak being one of those first people. And then like, it wasn't until 2018, the very beginning of that, I had a friend by the name of I Build with Bricks. That's when things started really picking up. And he was doing the live streams. And I never really saw people doing live streams before. And it really wasn't that big of a thing like it is these days. And I was like, I think I want to start doing that. And I became like obsessed with that. And then I started meeting some friends through that. And it's been like a wild ride of creating like this friend group that I've had and I still chat with. And it's crazy because like if you have this hobby, like you're not going to walk up to a person in like the Lego aisle of the store or whatever and be like, hey, so you collect Lego, like what's your name, all that. You're not going to do that. But like through this medium here, somehow it becomes easy to do that. And you have this common interest that then forms friendships. And it's just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, some of the first subscribers I had or have, we don't talk as much anymore, and and when you go and look at their channels, they haven't uploaded for maybe a year, or stuff like this, and they kind of just vanish off. But a lot of them have gone off to Instagram and stuff. The weird thing is, I think I met my first or second ever subscriber on BFAB's live stream one night. I was like, hey, and he was like, hey, and BFAB was like, you know each other, and the other person was like, yeah, I was one of his first subscribers. I was like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Weird where you meet people.
It's crazy how much people you meet in the Lego community. Like I feel like I know everyone, just because of engaging in streams and hanging out with people. And I mean, I always made it my goal to find new people. And I used to do that a lot until like I kind of stepped away from like the Lego community, in the sense where like I haven't fully stepped away, but like I'm not as engaged. But like I used to always go out of my way to find new people, and I made it my goal every single day to meet somebody new on a live stream and chat with them, no matter what. So
I mean, I owe BFAB credit for a lot of the friendships that I have, honestly. Like Dave, the guy that I went on vacation with in real life this year, friendship was made because BFAB was like, hey, this guy's really cool. You gotta meet him. And like we found each other, and like that was amazing. That was because of BFAB. Like crazy to say this, but BFAB has somehow influenced my actual life. The other person, like Maniac for Bricks, he's the reason I met some of like Jim Blade and Lego Freak. I started streaming with them, and just one random night, like we started hanging out, and that's become a friendship that's lasted years. So you never know who it is that you might talk to or meet that's going to lead to this person and maybe a whole group of people together. It's wild.
I think at the end of the day, it's all about forming connections. And like, if you're cool, like I've been that type of person where if I see you in a chat and I think you're cool and you make like that impact, like, yo, pop in a stream. And I used to do that a lot. I mean, like, I know, like, I became, like, I think Shy found me through you. Through you, Greg. But then I started engaging with Shy, like, yo, Shy, join our group. Shy popped in our group. Shy started engaging with people. It was kind of cool, like, the connections that we've all made. And now Shy is, like, one of the nicest, coolest people that I'm glad that, we kind of met, So.
It's true.
It's
I
been
mean, yeah,
crazy.
BFAB, you're kind of a pillar of the community. You've been around for such a long time, and you've introduced me to people as well. And I appreciate the stuff you've done, and you've helped me out in kind of private matters and stuff. So, I mean, you're a great person to have around, I think.
I appreciate you, Sai, and I appreciate everyone here. You guys are all amazing.
Well, thank you. Craig, what about you? When you started Lego first, or your YouTube channel, were you in the same kind of thing we were, where you interacted with people and then got to know them? I mean, you interacted a good bit with Jang, like, I mean, so, and you're not are you a shy person?
No. So I like this. The stuff that's happening online for me now has already happened before in real life. So I went to a Lego store years ago and was really awkward about buying Lego, and then obviously met other people that I'm now in the lug with, that were doing exactly the same thing. And then the conventions, the meetings, and hanging out. This has like just been another sort of extension to that, to meet other people within the community. But I've been on stage, and I've spoken and done training for like probably about 500 people at a time. So I don't really have a problem either way. So I'm a bit. I can do both. I don't mind my own company, and like you, if I'm building, I'll probably talk as well on my own when there's nobody around. But I don't mind being in front of the camera. I don't mind talking to people as well. I just like talking, if anything. And if you can combine talking with Lego, then that's brilliant. And if you've been to any of our lug meets, we do a lot more talking and eating than we do anything with Lego, to be fair. So, yeah.
Oh, Craig. First of all, I want to say thank you to Lorraine for the €2. She wants to see the side shuffle. Side shuffle, here we go.
I love it.
Ooh.
I'm expecting some more twerking to be involved, but
I could work that in somewhere. Yeah, I might have to have it as a graphic though, and kind of use CGI in my belly ass or something. I don't know.
We could have like a tier for that, like 10 euro. 10. Well, let's do like I don't know what we need to do, but we should make that a thing.
We'll work on it definitely for next time. You brought up a good topic about lugs. There's so many YouTubers that I'm friends with that aren't into going to lugs or joining lugs or anything like that. It's just Lego, like me, Lego at home. I stick to myself, and just enjoy Lego and stuff. But Greg, have you ever thought about joining a lug or doing anything like that, or even showing stuff off at like something like Brick Fair or anything like that?
Unfortunately, there's nothing in my area for that. Like I live in a really rural area, so there's really like no groups or real life thing for that. Unfortunately, I do like going to Philly Brick Fest, but the last 2 years it was canceled. It's coming up here in a few weeks, but I think we're gonna end up sitting this one out, just because of the COVID stuff that's happening right now. And Clark isn't vaccinated, so we want to play it safe this year.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of bummed about that. That is really fun to actually go and get to meet people that, just watch your channel, and then they come in and hang out, and obviously you get to go shopping there and stuff too.
And then Clark runs away from you when you say hi. Traumatic memory.
You were the only one.
Really?
Oh, it was hilarious. So I walk up to Miss Brickitect. I mean, at that time, I was super awkward. Like, I was awkward around everyone to some extent. And I walk, I'm like, hi, Clark. Clark, like, runs and, like, hides behind Miss Brickitect. And I'm like, oh, dang. Okay. I see how this is.
To be fair, he was 4 years old, and he's kind of shy, but...
Hey, you talking to Lego Freak. If you could talk to Lego Freak, you could talk to anyone, okay?
That's true. That is true.
I was so excited. Like, Clark hates me, and he likes Lego Freak? Are you kidding me?
How did you end up being friends in real life with Lego Freak and Ginblade and those guys? Because they're not low key, but I don't see them as much as I used to.
Yeah, I think just like most kids, they move on in life, like you were talking about channels that don't upload much anymore. And I find that a lot in the Lego space, people are into it for a bit and then they kind of move on, they do other things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's kind of, I think, what the case is there.
It's funny, I was talking to Ginblade and Lego Freak on a stream like, 2 weeks ago? And it was really weird because Ginblade just popped in. I think Ginblade right now is focused on work. And then Lego Freak, I feel like he's always around. He's always trying to get me to join his stream, like Lego Freak. I don't want to join your stream. He's like, come on, BFAB. I joined your membership. I'm like, dang it. Okay, I'll join.
I think
I
like
like
when you're 16, 17 years old, you just got a job, you got a car.
Yeah.
I don't think Lego and live streams are your number one thing anymore, you know?
Yeah, you probably come back to it maybe. I like them. I like the stuff they do. Lego Freak. I like watching his kind of non-Lego streams, like just taking a walk and stuff like that. He's a really nice guy. I really like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg
Yeah,
says.
he's all right.
Lego Freak and I have our ups and downs. There's days where I'm just like, I'm gonna throw you off a bridge. Then other days, like, Lego Freak, I think I can tolerate you.
Okay, so the backlog, Greg. First time I ever heard of anyone having a backlog was you, and probably now when you look back at that backlog, do you think that backlog was a backlog, or do you look at the stuff you have now and go, oh my god, that's a backlog? Because like me, when I started off, I was looking at your backlog going, wow, that's cool, he's so lucky, look at all that Lego. And now I think I have more shelves with Lego than you had at that time, and you probably have more than me and you combined at that time.
Yeah, it's always been a thing where I'm running behind it. It started back when I was doing this very casually and still working my job. I'd buy stuff when I'd see it on sale, and it started collecting at a rate quicker than I was building it. And then I felt like I've always been behind. Like when new stuff comes out, I still have other stuff to build. And then like we were encouraged back in like 2018 to open up a post office box. And I did that thinking like, okay, we'll have like 3 or 6 months. I only paid for 6 months because I thought anyone that wants to send us mail, they're going to do it. And then that's going to be the end of it. But it's now been going on for 3 years, and people send us Lego sets to build, and I try to build them, but like they start stacking up, and it's like, I know it's like first world problems, and probably the best problem to have is too much Lego. But for me, it's like, it's a little bit of anxiety with having all this unbuilt stuff. And I'm kind of at the point now where I'm committing to pretty much only like buying and building stuff that I plan to put on like display, like a piece like this Iron Man. Yeah. That's going to sit on my shelf forever. I need to stop like buying stuff that I'm going to build and then tear apart because I don't have a ton of storage space. But Dave has taught me, our other friend, he's taught me that maybe some of these older sets aren't really sets that I need to build necessarily, because he's showing these sets that are a couple years old that he's selling on Amazon and on, wherever, and making like 4 times what he paid for them. And I'm like, maybe these are investments and they're not actually to be built. But ultimately my goal is always to build first and then sell later. I don't think I've really sold much of anything.
I think like for myself, like I have over 150 plus steel Lego sets, and this didn't happen till like 2 years ago. And I think that you start buying things like, especially clearance, Greg. I know you haven't found clearance recently, but like when you used to be able to find clearance, you literally just buy everything,
Yeah, I did that this summer, and now I have like 4 or 5 sets that I would have never purchased, but they were cheap enough that you just do it. And,
yeah, 40 to 70. I think the most I've ever got was 90% off. You don't like the second it hits 50. I never pass on anything 50 to 90% off. You just grab it. You're like, yep, I don't care. I'll buy every copy.
Regardless, you could just take that and part it out and put it in your collection if you want to, or sell it or whatever,
Yeah, 100%.
Brickstein is heading off to bed. He lives in New
Zealand.
Take care,
Richard.
Take care, Richard. Have a good one, and we will see you during the week. Tomorrow, actually, Brickstein is streaming. It'll be, I think it's 9 o'clock UK Irish time, so check it out. He probably might be in his back garden for all we know. So come here, Greg. When you got married, or when you met your, at one time, obviously, girlfriend, fiance, were you into Lego at that time? And if you were, what did she think?
Not at all. I wasn't into any of the things that I'm into these days. So it's kind of grown around that. The only thing I really did when we got together was I played video games, not excessively, but just casually. But then all these hobbies have kind of taken over. And like, I just realized as an adult more than anything, like I'm just a man of hobbies. I love all kinds of stuff. And like my son gets into things and I just go in with them, like Thomas and Friends, the trains, no interest in those, but man, the tracks are pretty darn cool to build. And I'm into that. So I go in with that. There's monster trucks, there's Hot Wheels, like you name it. Like my dad was like never involved in my life. So for me, I'm like, I don't see how you could not want to do that, because I just love it. And like, if we're hunting for stuff, it's so great. So I've become like, we have RC trucks. Like we have so many hobbies that it's getting pretty ridiculous, but it's just having fun all the time. And it's crazy when you can like share the things that you really love to do, and then people enjoy watching those things. And then it's just like, wow, I think I've found the cheat code for life or something here. It's nuts.
But when you did start to get into Lego, like, okay, when you were like when you were going out with your, I don't know if we're allowed to say your name. Do you want?
Yeah,
That's not
Cody.
secret, Tristan, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you go with Cody and not first, but when you started to get into Lego, was she kind of going, "What are you doing?" Because you got into Lego before you had Clark, didn't you?
Yeah. No, it was never that. She's never once like been like, "Hey, don't buy a Lego set," or "Hey, that's too much," or whatever. There's never been any stopping me, which is probably not good because I'm like I have an obsessive personality. I think that's probably one of the keys to my success too. But when I go in on something, it's like it's all or nothing, and it's usually just all. So it started accumulating. Like I was just like, hey, I'm going to start doing this Lego thing. And then, what was just like a little shelf turned into a slightly bigger shelf. And then it became a shelf that was, as tall as I was. And then it was 2 of those. And then it was a basement full of those. So she hasn't stopped me.
And then he had to buy a new house just for all his Legos. So
and now that place is full. So yeah.
Now he's moving on to the next house.
Brickitect warehouse coming soon.
So funny seeing you move and then, hey, Shy. So funny seeing you move and then going, look at this cool place. It's so big. I don't think I'll ever fill this. And I was like, 6 months. 6 months.
Yeah. I was saying to Craig, the enemy of any Lego person is money and space. Those are the 2 things that hold us all back in one way or another.
Yeah. Craig, what about you? When you got with your wife, were you already into Lego or did you get into it during your relationship?
I would have to be careful now because I'm sure she's watching. I was still into it because I remember she was one of the few girlfriends I had that actually bought me Lego sets for Christmas. She bought me the first 8080 and a clone tank. So I used to get them for Christmas to build. So yeah, she pretty much knew that I was Lego. Probably not to the extent I am now, but that obviously changed after circumstances where it became more of therapy for me, which is why it grew out of control, I think, a little bit. But she was aware of that I was a Lego geek.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about Lego. We've talked about that lots of times. Lego isn't just, a hobby for a lot of people. It's therapy. It's an escape from the real world. It's it's a way to kind of shut everything away and just either get into your own head and build, or I mean, for me, I said this during the week because we were talking about the Queer Eye set and the backlash it got, and everyone's awesome on the backlash. And for me, I got into the Lego space for accidentally, and then I just realized it's amazing to calm yourself down, to escape the kind of daily routine, escape the news, put on some Depeche Mode or something and just build something. Do you know what I mean? And escape from all of it. And like, when you come across sets like that, for me, as I said, it's just Lego sets. I don't look at a set and go politics, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people are either lonely at home and they like to build and watch a live stream, or they are getting over something and stumbled, especially during the pandemic. A lot of people stumbled into Lego and now it's part of their life. It's like going to a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
It's an expensive therapist, though.
It's why when you want to buy a Lego set, don't wait anymore because it's going to get bought or purchased.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The other thing is, then you turn into sometimes. Well, for me, I turned into an obsessive where it's like, oh my god, everything's retiring. I need 20 grand right now.
Yeah.
You get over that, though, to be fair.
Yeah,
it is a phase.
I used to be that way, and then I realized, like, I mean, I feel like I haven't really built a lot of Lego sets in 2 years. Like, I think in the last 2 years, I've probably built like 5 sets, 5 or 6 maybe. But yeah, there used to be a time where I'm just like, I need to buy everything. It's going to retire. Now I'm just like, I'm just going to buy clearance. So, yeah.
Where do you put your Lego though, Beaver? You have you're buying tons of Lego.
So I have, if you don't include collectible minifigs, so Brickset says I have 1,400 sets. Now, a lot of those are collectible minifigs. So I have about a little bit over 700 sets. And then I have, my seal collection, which is a little bit over 150. So right now, as of, we speak, I can't even speak. All the Lego sets are taken apart in bags and then put either in like garbage bags or in bins or whatever. Like I just have them all thrown in bins or garbage bags, and they're kind of all over the house at the moment, because like when I finally move out, as people know, I'm 22. I still live with my mother. I know it's sad, okay, but like I don't want to rebuild everything and then have to move again and then do all that stuff. I'd rather be kind of moved out before I build more stuff. But I'm still buying if I can get like deals, like.
Yeah.
That's just how I roll. Clearance I'll never pass on.
I don't think you have to feel bad about not building Lego sets. Like I talk to people that all they buy for is just to resell, or you could collect sealed sets. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I mean, I agree. I think for me though, like I kind of reflect on things and I'm like, I think I've brought this up before. I'm like, am I really still into Lego? Like I enjoy the whole like YouTube aspect of things, but am I really into Lego? And I keep questioning that and I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
You don't have to be really. You could still be a part of the Lego community and never build a Lego set. You could be a Lego news person and never build or open a Lego set. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's true.
I just want to say hello to Brett's Build who dropped in. Brickstage, I said hello to Brickstage already. Aaron dropped in too. Chris is here. I can never say his new name. I'll try it again. I always get given out to Darth Groja. That sounds Irish.
Darth
I don't really
Gojira.
call him Darth Gojira.
Gojira.
It's like
Gojira.
Godzilla.
I always get it wrong.
Just call him Chris.
Shy, we said hello to Shy. Mitty Bricks is here. Hey, Mitty Bricks, how's it going? Good to see you. Brickmaster is here. How are you? Lumberjack Josh and Bricky Ty. I don't think I missed anybody else, but everybody, thanks for joining us on a Saturday. We know that it's the weekend, and we are so happy that you're all here on this Saturday special with Brickitect. Now, if you are just joining, don't forget to hit the like button, and everybody's links are in the description below. So don't forget to check them all out. If you don't know, Greg Brickitect has another channel. Well, he has 4, but he has another channel called Greg's World. It's really good. It's his vlog channel, and it's really entertaining. So if you like vlogs and you like that stuff, check that out too. So speaking of other channels that you have, what else have you got?
Well, the vlog thing is my main thing. That's like I feel like my life's work is documenting my life there. And then Lego, obviously. And then I have a gaming channel, which is, just casually playing video games here and there. Again, I try to justify things that I really want to do by being like, hey, if I am entertaining people or live streaming this, I can justify spending 3 hours on a video game. So we do that. And then I had a live streaming channel, but I decided that it made more sense just to live stream on like my main channel at this point. Like I created that channel when I got really obsessed with streaming, and I was streaming like 2 or 3 times a day. And I was like, people are going to hate me for this because it's way too much. And that was before I even thought about like unlisting videos or whatever. So I had like its own channel where it was just live streams piling up. But now I just stream on my main channel and I just make them unlisted at this point. So I just have 3 active channels because I found that like it's really hard to balance all these plates and I can never really do it all. So I'm going to try to cut as much as I can.
Oh, we were talking to Ryan. Ryan was on the channel here on Thursday, MNO Productions, and we were talking about unlisting and privatizing videos and everything. And BFAB has gotten rid of tons of old videos. And Ryan was saying that, if you have a lot of live streams on your channel, it might be good to get rid of them if they're just streams of building sets or whatever. But I'd never heard of doing anything like that before. But he pointed out as well that what I do and what Greg from London Bridge Bricks does, who looks like he's down here. Hello, Greg. We do weekly. How's it going? We do weekly shows. So he was suggesting leaving them there because we get a lot of people watching back. Like we run our streams as a show. So like, I'm having a little interview with you in a chat, and it'll just turn into like shooting the breeze when I get the questions done and stuff. And Greg's is like a kind of a Saturday night TV show where he'll hop from guest to guest and he'll show pictures that the viewers have sent in. And, it's a great way. It's a really good, feel good, stream on a Friday night because it is like a Friday or Saturday night at home watching TV. The viewers feel good because they're getting the stuff shown, and it's really lighthearted and funny. And with that, here is Greg from London Bridge Bricks.
So how are we all doing? Nice to meet you, Greg.
Nice to meet you. I agree with what Shy. I get you guys all mixed up. If you're doing something like you two are doing, where it's like a dedicated weekly thing, and this is like a show that I'm producing, versus, hey, I'm going to sit down for the next 45 minutes and talk to people on a live stream about while I build like the first half of the set, that's not substantial enough to be like, this is a piece of content that I want to represent my channel. What you're doing here and what Greg is doing, that's like, this is what I do. And I think you guys should definitely keep those up.
Yeah, we
Just don't
Especially
turn into
considering that-
Brickitect and stream every single day, and he ends up hating it. Like, Greg, when are we gonna stream? Guys, I'm burnt out. Then like phase 2 happens.
I tell you, I just don't do things like once a week. It's like if I'm gonna do something, I need to do it daily. It's gonna be like all in.
Yeah, no, you were dedicated. I mean, the streams were fun when we did them, and I think we all kind of got burnt out, and now it's kind of hard to get all of us in the same area, you know?
I regret stopping at that time because that was a time when like everybody was like into it and everybody was around, and I should have kept rolling, but you know, it was too much.
Yeah.
That was a crazy time because there was everybody. Like, I mean, at one stage there was you, myself, BFAB, Cut the Craggle, Gin Blade, not Brickitect, Chris from
Brickitect.
and there was somebody else. And like,
I mean, there was Sky,
Brick.
Brick a lot would come in every once in a while. Ryan would show up.
Yeah. It was fun.
It were funny. So, Greg, from London Bridge Bricks, how have you been? How's your day?
All right, yeah, quite busy actually. The family have just gone, so we had a family meal today. So everyone's out on the deck-in area, having a good day. The sun's out here in London, so yeah, it was just a really nice, mellow day, to be honest. And I thought I'd just change my attire, get into something a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more kind of Lego orientated. And now here we are. I think this is the first stream I've ever been on with another Greg. Oh no, actually, it's the second stream. There's Greg in Australia. I was on with him about 2 years ago. And now I'm on with my first American Greg, which is lovely.
We could do like a Greg stream, and then we get Craig's. We'll get all the Craigs and Gregs of the world in there. I think it could be something.
I will change my name to Greg. I'll be a generic guy, but you know what I'll do?
You've been a good-looking one.
But yeah, no, it's good to see. So Greg bricking it. See, I know I'm confused. Greg,
It's okay.
Well, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Call me LBC or something like that.
So you what was I going to say to you? I can't remember what I was going to say, but what we will do is about a year ago. How long are we streaming together, Greg?
Oh, it's got to be a year. We're up to episode 31 now of the backlog, and that must have been going for at least, out of those 31, I'd say we've probably been going for about 36 weeks or so. So 3/4 of a year. London Calling's up to 86 next week, so that's way over a year. But for you and me, I'm going to have to go back to the very first one you was ever on that one to check it out, to find out. Because I look back on some of them. You know, sometimes when your video's finished, like when your live stream's finished, and then what you do, I don't know why on my one anyway, it then kicks off an old version of London Calling, and sometimes it goes like to number 23. And even then, it was only like, 50 episodes ago. I think, blimey, I looked a lot younger then. So it's scary how you watch yourself aging on YouTube. You sort of
Oh my God.
I know that.
I have to put more product in my hair to like keep it looking darker or something like that. It's weird. Yeah, we're not 4K yet on YouTube. That's all I could say. That will lose subs left, right, and center.
Why do you think I don't show my face? I don't want to keep a time capsule of me aging. Like, I already see it. I'm like, why is my hair not as thick as it used to be? Luckily, guys, I'm not balding yet. I'm glad about that. And I'm like, wow, my teeth are not as pretty as they used to be. Wait a second, I'm fat now. When I started YouTube, I was skinny. Now I'm fat. Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing. I look at myself. I sort of think, blimey, I remember I could get into that top, and now I can't. So yeah, my t-shirts look like I've sprayed them on these days, most likely. But that's lockdown for you folks. It really is. It's
I was wondering that because I wanted to talk about generic stud. I remember when we were on one of the London Calling live streams, and we were trying to get generic stud to 200 subscribers.
Yeah,
I think that was a Greg stream. That was a Brickitect stream, right? Wasn't that a Brickitect stream?
Was it Brickitect?
Yeah, it was a Brickitect stream because Brickitect was having everyone join. And then
I was doing a community celebration thing for hitting a milestone, and I think I was having all these people come on and just like chat for like just a few minutes. And he came on, and I thought he was a really cool kid. And now to see where he's at, it's incredible.
Yeah, he is now, like, regarding like Lego YouTubers, all his videos are doing well. He's clocking insane views. He's got like almost 70,000 subs. Like, the thing is, I'm proud of the kid. He deserves it. He's worked his ass off to get to where he was at, and his quality of his videos are like no other, There's not really somebody on his level in the Lego community regarding like editing and personality.
And it's content that I think even if you don't love Lego, or if Lego's not your number one thing you're searching for, it's still watchable content.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell as well. I remember he was on Brickitect's channel, and then a little while afterward, he was on Greg's, and we were trying to get him subscribers or whatever. But he's come so far, and he did appreciate it, because he told us that being on your channel, Greg Brickitect, he was saying that it was brilliant and it was excellent and everything. He is going to be one of the guests, well, the next guest on Just Too Good's podcast. If anybody didn't know that, that's not a secret. It's on the community tab, as far as I remember. It's on the members tab, actually. And so as BFAB was saying, like last time I looked, he had over 52,000 subs. He gets about I thought it was 60, and he gets about 50,000 likes a video. Like insane.
Yeah,
You mean 50,000 views? I don't think it's likes. I don't think he gets 50,000 likes per video.
He gets a lot of likes. How many?
He gets a lot of likes, but I think his average likes around like 7,000. I think, but yeah, I think his average video gets about 50 to 100,000 views on average.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's nice to see somebody that's underrated get recognized by the algorithm the way that they deserve to be.
Yeah. He's flying. He's doing really, really well. But he's perfect for YouTube. He really is. His content is crazy. It's out there. It's entertaining. You don't have to know anything about Ninjago, and I think he hits the nail on the head every time he does a video. His editing is superb. He doesn't have to do many of them, and every time he brings out something, it absolutely explodes. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy as well. I just want to say hi to Brickslot, who dropped in to us to say hello. He says, hey, man, was just dropped in for a moment. Going to be chasing after my dad again soon. PJ Brick is here. Hey, PJ, good to see you. And yep, so when it comes to the backlog, I think myself and Greg, we started up a live stream called The Backlog. We do it every single Wednesday. It alternates from one channel to the other. And now I think the name was kind of inspired. Well, in my head, it reminds me of Greg's backlog on his shelf, Brickitect. And we've been trying to work through our backlog. And now the idea was that we build a set from the backlog and, display it or break it down or whatever afterwards. Do you know what? We stupidly end up buying sets that we like now and build them on the backlog. So technically it's bought, it's in your backlog, and you take it back out. And I don't know. My backlog has not got a dent in it at all. And then some of the sets you don't want to open because they're worth a fortune.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Hey, speaking of that, it's probably been asked a billion times, but that Death Star behind you, is that opened or is that sealed?
It's empty.
Okay, just checking. I was like, if that's not built, you need to crack into that right now and start building it up.
I started building it, I think it was last October, I think. And I built bits and bits of it over months. It sat on the kitchen table through Christmas dinner. It was there for New Year's Day, and I think it was February I finished it or something. So now it lives in a display wardrobe I bought for it.
So we might be the same person, actually. You've just described like so many builds in my life. Like our Disney castle sat on our dining room table all summer, and I had like 1 week left before summer was over. I'm like, this thing is not gonna go beyond this. So we finished like half of it in just a few days. But I've had so many things like that.
Well, it was there for so long, Greg. Like Nullig was actually adding bits and pieces to it. So I came in one day and there was a mini doll, and then there was like an Iron Man was in there. I was like, oh my god, that's a hint if ever I've seen one. Like,
definitely.
If it's getting played with before it's built, it's probably time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But BFAB, it is a great set. I think you have that as one of your favorite sets, do you?
So I love the set in the sense, like, so I wanted the 2008 version as a kid. Like, that was kind of like, I think it was either 2008, 2007. I remember, like, I didn't like Star Wars, but I look in the Lego magazines. I'm like, I wish I could own the set. And then I ended up getting the 2016 one, like, heavily discounted. My friend knows a middleman. He was able to sell it to me, I believe, for like $350, and that's a $500 set. Yeah. So I got it all sealed in the bags and everything, built the set, loved the set. It completely smashed now, but I still remember waking up every morning. I was like to the side of my bed because I don't have space. I'd like kick it every morning and have to rebuild it, and then wake up and be like, what's going on? Bam! It goes flying across the room. That was just in pieces. So
have any of you guys seen BFAB's floor? It's not his current floor, but before he had like these hardwood floors in his bedroom. And I just love this photo that I saw because the entire floor was just filled with built Lego sets everywhere. It looked amazing.
I loved it, but people were like, yo, you need shelves. I'm like, dude, if I buy shelves, I can't buy Lego. You don't see how much Lego I have.
I picture you walking through like
so
we've had cats before, and like when you have Lego all over the floor, somehow cats are able to walk through it without ever touching the piece. I picture you getting out of bed in the morning being like that, where you're able to get around it.
The crazy thing is, though, I look back and I think like the last time I posted a video showcasing my collection, because like that was the last time it was actually fully built up, was 2018, and I was running out of space then. Now I have like an additional 150 plus 200 sets on top of that. So I'm like, if I rebuilt everything now, it would be torture. Like I just need to move out. Once I do, it's gonna be beautiful. I'll make sure I actually have shelves this time and not have to wake up every morning and kick a Lego set to get by. So
yeah. Greg, can I talk about missing pieces with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so missing pieces is something for me just came out of the blue, out of nowhere, and I never thought I don't concentrate on stuff like that. But when it was Lego and it was like you, because I was a subscriber, I was like, this could be interesting. What gave you that idea? And did you ever think it would turn into something that you get very emotional on that sometimes? Because it means a lot to people that you do that. So what made you think about doing it, and did you think it would turn into what it turned into?
Well, I've always loved podcasts, and there's this guy that I've listened to where he does like he's like a life coach, but he had like his own podcast where it was just like him talking about his life and his family. And this was years ago. Like he doesn't do it anymore. And I found myself really drawn to that because just like in the world of like vlogs on YouTube, the things that I love most isn't like showing a Lego set. I want to know about the person behind the Lego set or their motivation for buying it, what they love about it. Like all of that means so much more to me, which is why I think we all love Jabbo so much. And I was like, I think it'd be really cool. Like I was on a Lego podcast with Ryan and Just Too Good, and that was fun talking about Lego. But like my passion isn't to sit there for an hour and discuss Lego news. My passion is to like talk about my like what's going on in my life. And I know a lot of it is documented, but like it's fun just to sit down and like have some topics and be like, this is what's going on right now. This is what I'm thinking about. These are the things that are happening in my life or in my mind. And it felt weird putting that out onto a Lego channel because very much it's not about Lego. But the community around this isn't necessarily like, I've had people say like they're not subscribing for the fact that I'm building an Iron Man head right now and they're desperate to see this. I'm never going to be like the reviewer guy that has the best reviews. I'm never going to be the guy that's the first to build something or buy something at the Lego store, leaking the news. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And that podcast is an extension of that, just in a long form content where I'm just sitting and talking about it.
It's a really interesting idea, and one of the things that you talk about on it is Lego dads.
Yeah.
So, have you done anything about doing trying to get a podcast together or get together? I know Lego moms were giving you a hard time too.
Yeah. I would love to, like sort of like what you're doing here, but it's just like the Lego. I guess we'll call it Lego parents because I don't want to leave the moms out. There's probably Lego moms out there that would love to do it too. But to have something like this, I think, where we're just like, we could sit down and talk about what it's like to be working on a Lego set that's sitting on your dining room table for months and your kid's putting an Iron Man minifig inside the Death Star because it has been sitting there for 2 months. I think that would be something that there's a group of people out there that can really relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I just want to say hello to a few people who've dropped in again, Greg. Sorry. We have Hi T Toys. Hi, Joanna. How's it going? Good to see you on this Saturday. I was watching her earlier on. Really good live stream. Thanks for sharing your Saturday. FLX is here. Thank you for joining. We have somebody from PJ's Raid, or stream, I should say. And Joanna's saying, really enjoyed the podcast. Brick Foundation, very good. Very much relate to that reasoning and purpose. And everyone say hello to Joanna. I want to talk about something that you're into, as you were saying there, you like stories, and when I make a video, I try my best to kind of, that resonated with me. So I try to make a video that has a story or why I bought this, and that always stuck in my head. But your humor is very like mine and everyone's on the panel here, okay? But do you know where I'm going with this?
That's scary. Yeah.
The whole tomato video, which I thought was a genius video, So many people gave out to you about that.
Yeah, it's comedy and the Lego community, in my experience, at least my style, which is kind of like, I guess you'd
Dad
consider it to be
humor.
like, it's like a dry humor that it's not blatantly clear that I'm making a joke. It never goes over well with the Lego people. For some
People
reason.
in the Lego community, they don't take jokes well. As somebody who has, again, I'm not proud of all my jokes and I've crossed lines with it, but people in the Lego community cannot take jokes. And that's why, like, half the content, well, I feel like 90% of the content creators, sorry to everyone, you guys are boring. And it's because, like, you have to have personality, you have to have relatability, you have to be able to make people laugh. You want people to come back and watch your content, you know?
I don't think, you know, I've gotten in hot water before for making that claim.
But you were right. You were so right. Like,
I've spent a year thinking about this.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the people in the Lego community are boring. I just think that there's a focus, and rightfully so, on being informative, providing information, because that's what people want. People want the Lego news. People want Lego leaks, and people want reviews. They don't necessarily want to see a guy and his kid playing with a Lego set and having a really good time with it. That's entertainment, and that there is a space for it. But I think ultimately the reason people watch Lego videos and people make Lego videos is for information.
But Greg, you have to take into consideration, and what you said, like, at first I understood why people were getting offended, and then I reflected on what you said. And I'm like, well, who are the people who are getting angry? It's not the people who are entertaining, the people like, I love your head. It's the people who sit on a live stream for 2 hours and be like, so what new Lego set did you get today? Like, it was those people who were getting angry. It wasn't the entertaining people. And I'm like, Greg is right. Like, you're the kind of the one reason I stopped doing a lot of news videos, because you said everyone's doing them. You need to find something new. And at first I'm like, who does Greg think he is? Tell me not to do news videos. And then I realized, I looked back and I'm like, these are crappy videos. I threw them together in 10 minutes. I leave up my phone. I'm like, what's going on, brother from another brick, latest news. And now, like, I'll still occasionally do news videos. And if it's a news video, I'll wait a couple days to drop it, so it's a higher quality video. But you got me to kind of improve, like, making better content. And now I'm proud of my content. I can proudly say, I think regarding effort and content, I spend a lot more time than 95% of the people in the Lego community, you know, because
I don't think there's nothing wrong with making news videos. I mean, I certainly don't like news days on YouTube because I subscribe to a lot of people that I enjoy, and everybody essentially makes the same video that day. But everyone has different audiences.
Yeah.
You realize, like, maybe you love getting your news from this guy or that guy. And I'll say this: if you're thinking about starting a Lego news channel, you just because there's another guy out there that you watch, and you're like, man, I'll never be as good as him. You have a different voice. And if you can do it in a different way, like when I do Lego news, I don't do like, hey, this new set's coming out. It's going to be 623 pieces. It's going to sell for $70. It features this piece. I say, is Brickitect buying it? And I talk about why I like it or I don't. That's there's two things. If you can't be the first or the best at something, the only other thing left to be is yourself. And that's
I think you're spot on there. I think I like news stuff. I don't mind reading or watching the quickest one that gets out there. You know, 5 minutes later, bang. You know, it tells you the bare facts. After that, that's it. Fine. You know, I can read that later on Brickset or something like that. What makes it more interesting is that person going to buy it? Are they interested in it? Why aren't they interested in it? What do they like best about it? What do they think they're going to like least about it? And how they feel it kind of fits into their kind of collection or Lego as a whole. So but that goes back, Greg and BFAB, to what you guys were saying about the best thing really about your Lego YouTube channel is you, not the Lego. Everyone's doing the Lego. We've all got the same thing. We could all do the same thing if we want to, but what makes us different is us. And that's the thing.
Agreed. And I think that's where Greg, like London Bird Brick, Greg, I feel like to say it now. Greg, you strive when it comes to live streaming. Your personality on live streams is amazing. I still remember when I did that 48-hour stream and I was like dead. And like you were running the show like, oh, hey everyone, how's it going? And just like keeping it like flowing, you know? And again, to everyone that joined that, thank you. But like, I'm like, Greg got this regarding personality on live streams. I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of people, a lot of us are doing the same thing. But personality truly matters at the end of the day. There's YouTubers I watch not because they have the highest quality content, but because they're entertaining, they're funny. You know, that's why like I've always strived to have jokes in a lot of my videos, and people are like, yo, BFAB, this is inappropriate, or you can't say this. And I'm like, yeah, screw you. I'm more entertaining than you. Bye. You know, like that's kind of my logic. So
but one thing is, if you as a viewer, you want to enjoy it, you want to be entertained, you ain't going to enjoy it if the person who's presenting it is not having fun. We're coming here to see that person having fun. So if they're not having fun, that's what comes across when somebody's reading out like just the basic pamphlet, but not, like you say, putting their own spin on it. We want to see them reading it out. We don't want to see it being read.
And that influences me more. The fact that their kind of passion coming through, whether they like it or not. And
I think ultimately there's a place for everything. There's people that enjoy sitting down and reading encyclopedias. There's people that enjoy sitting down and reading comic books. And both of those things can exist like in the form of video in the Lego space. You just have to decide what you want to do and whatever you like and do that thing and don't worry about anything else.
I think though, like my goal is always to be remembered. Like if tomorrow I get one view of video, I want people to be like, yo, that BFAB guy, he was really funny. You know, he made that impact. He made me laugh. Like you want to be remembered. You're not going to remember everyone that informed you on the latest Lego news. You're going to remember the people that made you laugh or the people that emotionally connected with you.
And Nulik is here.
Hi.
And he wants to say hello to everybody.
Hi, Uncle BFAB.
Hi, how's it going, buddy?
Good.
Are you still winning on Fortnite?
Yeah, but what? Uncle BFAB, but you know who we're back?
What happened?
Dr. Sloan is back in season 8.
Dr. Sloan is back.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, what Uncle BFAB? What Uncle BFAB? I just saw her.
That's crazy.
What happened?
He saw Dr. Sloan.
Yeah.
BFAB has no idea who that is because he doesn't play video games. BFAB is quickly he's trying to Google on his phone while he's streaming. He's, oh, what's happening? Who's Dr. Sloan?
Okay, so is Dr. Sloan a bad guy? Is he a good guy? Who is he?
It's a girl, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a girl. See, I'm so bad at this too now.
Yeah. And say hi to Greg up there in the red t-shirt.
Hi.
You met him last year, and remember his son Clark, and you both said hello, and then you both got shy.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
remember that day.
You remember that day?
Yeah.
It is nice to see a kid that's not afraid of BFAB, though. So that's good.
Oh, he calls him Uncle BFAB.
he's a brave boy.
Yeah. And say hi to Craig.
Hi, Craig.
Hi.
Hi, Greg.
Say hi to Greg.
Hi.
And look, say hi to Bricky Ty. Ty said hi.
Hi, Funa Bricks.
And hi, Funa with Bricks. And we're way behind down here. And look, it's jumped all the way. Let's see who we got. We've got say hi, Slug Biker. Hi, Simon Moss.
Hi, Simon Moss.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Slug Biker again. Hi, Brickmaster. Hi to Lego Madness. His name's Liam. Say hi, Liam. And no, you don't. Okay. And say hi to that. Who's that? That's 80s life. Your sister.
I know.
So can I show everybody your eye, because I'm sure a lot of people thought you got a punch in the eye last night. And you didn't really. So have a look at it's much better.
Oh, good makeup, Si.
It's this one.
It's that one.
Yeah.
So turn your head this way.
I like the way you did that, and his eyes kind of went with it.
Like one of those pictures. Greg, his eyes swelled up last night, and it was like a balloon. You should have seen it.
What was it from?
Don't know. It out of nowhere. He has asthma, so he gets very congested, and you feel like crap, don't you?
Yeah. Sick.
But his mom was at work. Lorraine was at work yesterday, and Nulla came in, and he looked like The Big Bang Theory. One of the guys, Howard, is allergic to peanuts. And when he came into the room, I was just like, "Oh my god, because he's allergic to peanuts as well." And his eye was swollen, and he was all, "Hi, my eye is all flat." And I was like, "Oh my god." And I was like, "You're fine." He was poking it and everything. Oh my god, better. Lorraine put Optrex on it last night.
Mum to the
Better
rescue.
now.
This is the Lego Dads content that people subscribe for right here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Did I say hi to Simon Moss? Hi, Simon Moss. Not sure if I did.
You did.
Did I nick the Lego brick? How's it going?
Lego.
And what are you getting from eBay today? Let us know. So say goodbye to everybody.
Bye bye bye.
Say smelly
Bye,
legs.
Noah.
Noah. Have
Bye,
fun with
man.
Fortnite, buddy.
I know that.
Remember,
Yeah.
kill
Know
everyone.
you
No,
later.
I'm kidding.
He wants to show you his.
You have to
t-shirt
kill
as
all the
well.
bad guys, Nolag. You
Oh,
got this, buddy.
nice. Check this out, Nolan.
Hey,
Nice.
Iron Man.
Nice.
look at that shirt. That's so cool.
Greg's building an Iron Man helmet. Isn't
Yeah,
that
Working
cool?
on it.
That would look good in your room, actually. Say bye.
Bye. Yeah.
See you
See
later.
you later.
This is where
Take
I
care,
put the
buddy.
mic.
Goodbye.
Good to
Sai,
see
we
you
might
back,
have to
Si.
replace you with Nolag, man. He's stealing all your viewers. Like everyone's like Nolag, for president.
He's a great guy.
I can
But-
relate to that.
Sometimes he shouts rude words as he's leaving the room.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that?
Where did you learn that from, Sai?
Yeah.
His mom, obviously.
Sure.
Lorraine's a horrible
example.
Example. Come on, Lorraine, do better.
Cynical Dad is here too, and so Nick is getting a Marvel Blu-ray set. It has Black Panther, Ant-Man 2, Infinity War, Captain Marvel, Endgame, Spider-Man. That is awesome. Hope you enjoy it. Greg, London Bridge Rick has just started rewatching those, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm up to Captain America now, so I think that's like episode 4 or 5. And it's good. It's really good, actually. Kind of nice to see like the original Captain Carter in it as well, and all the little Easter eggs that you're kind of picking up along the way as well. The Tesseract and the Red Skull, and and knowing what they kind of how they've spun that with the What If cartoons and things like that. So it's kind of good, man. I mean, looking back, they did do a really, really good job on formulating that. Someone somewhere had a plan. And I just wish those same people that had that kind of plan, that pipeline, that timeline of putting that, what is a gargantuan, epic set of movies together with a fantastic climax. I just wish they could have done that in the last 3 Star Wars movies. Just saying, just throwing it out there.
I thought you were going to say DC when you were talking about it. I'm like, he's going to say
Oh,
DC.
no. Do you know what? I think DC's still trying. I think DC have made up a little bit with the Snyder Cut. I think they've kind of pulled it back a little bit. But it, the way I see it, and it's an interesting question that you put out there in your poll today, Si. So please do vote for your favorite universe there, folks. I will say this, right? I will say Marvel have got loads. They've got more superheroes than you can, throw a stick at. But at the end of the day, DC have got a handful, but they've got the best ones, arguably. And
DC have got loads.
With DC have got loads, yeah. But I mean, so getting someone like I don't know, Polka Dot Man or something like that. Come on, you're not going to get that in Marvel. It's
You just can't name any of them. That's all.
Yeah, but there's more than that as well. It's the problem is the Marvel universe has put the spotlight on Marvel, but most of the people that wrote comics for Marvel started at DC, and they worked. If it wasn't for DC Comics, Marvel wouldn't exist. They got the idea from DC to go and start their own company. That's how it all worked out.
Yeah.
And a lot of the characters were copied across as well. There's a lot of
And now Marvel is way better, right, guys? Can we agree?
Well,
to
not
that?
necessarily comic
I think
sales,
Marvel
but
movies are better. I'll go with that, but I wouldn't necessarily say the superhero. I mean, Batman. I mean, he's Batman Day today, isn't it? Isn't it that day of the Batman?
Day today. Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to DC in general, it's usually like a hit or miss. Like usually it's like either a really good movie or like a really average movie.
Yeah,
I
think that's a fair point.
But the thing with that is that Marvel just hit the right time to come up with the concept of the universe, because they'd been struggling for years before then with films that started it all off, such as Blade. When they sold Marvel to Disney, from then onwards they've had the right producer, the right people involved to get that over the line, and there's not that many of them around in Hollywood. So DC are struggling, because if they'd have got them first, then it would have been a different story.
Yeah,
and same with Star Wars, isn't it? I mean, the Mandalorians brought that back a bit because they've got fans involved.
Well, I think that last scene with Luke Skywalker in it, that seemed to make up because people remember. I said, I don't remember Luke Skywalker being like this. And then suddenly in the Mandalorian, it's like, yes, that's the Luke Skywalker we all remember.
Except his face, when it comes to CGI, sucks. It looks like he got like injections, like Botox gone wrong. He's like, Luke Skywalker.
It's the new force power, BFAB. It really is.
I mean, to be fair, Disney has like the best of best, like everyone. Like, even if something is like Disney is bad, is it really that bad? I feel like Disney goes all the way out and they hire the best, writers, the best directors, the best actors. Disney doesn't look at things and go, "Here's a budget." That's like, here's what we can make. Amazing.
And the other thing is, Marvel is more friendly universe which is one of the reasons why it was created. For everybody, whereas DC is very adulty and it's very dark. It's not for everybody.
Oh, DC is much darker. I mean, there was that. What was it? One of them. What's his name? Deadpool. He was fighting someone once. He went, "Oh, you're so dark. You must be from the DC universe."
Yeah.
Like that. A great line.
And I hope they don't dumb him down. I mean, like, it'd be great to see him in the MCU, but I think the Deadpool movies make the Deadpool movies because of what Deadpool is, if you get what I'm trying to say. I think if they put him in the MCU, he wouldn't be doing half the stuff he does, and he wouldn't be and the actor as well really brought him to life.
Yeah, it sounded like it would be a better TV series than a film, wouldn't it? Where you could,
it would be definitely, 100%.
So he could technically be still in the MCU, like Shield was, but not as part of the movies. Like the whole kind of web of, you watch one movie, you look at Shields, then you watch Captain Carter, and then you watch etc. etc. I think that would be a good idea. I'd like to see more Deadpool.
I thought, like we were saying about before, Captain America and Falcon and Winter Soldier, then that was played a little bit at an older audience as well, which is another thing why people weren't so keen on it, because there was some quite dark moments if you watch that back, that are not really kid friendly. Yeah,
even What If isn't that kid friendly. I mean, some gory bits.
I don't know. I was scared of the zombies, but Naomi wasn't. I was like, "This is scary," isn't it? She's like, "No."
It was a bit of a Halloween-y one. I think myself and Greg, London Bridge said before, if they had have maybe put that nearer to Halloween, it would have worked really well. It worked really well. It's my favorite.
I think there's some good comedy in it though as well. When Wasp, she kind of went Goliath upwards, into like giant wasp. I don't know what you call it really when she goes big. And she threw that person at the jet. I just thought that was hilarious because that zombie going and then falling down. I mean, what a way to go, eh? If it did go anyway. Zombies don't really ever die, do they? They just stay animated.
Well, you throw when you're mad what you've got to hand, and she had a lot of them to hand, didn't she?
That's true.
But blimey, I mean, she's huge.
It's clever. It's clever writing there, and clever animation as well.
Yeah. Oh, the animation. I mean, the animation is fantastic. I really genuinely like it, and I wonder if Disney will do some more. Because I mean, even that Star Wars show, the Resistance, that was kind of similar-ish. But in this one, you can actually tell. I love it when they get the actors to do the proper voices. I really appreciate that massively.
I still like the Watcher's voice, and that's is it Jeffrey? I don't know if it's Jeffrey.
Oh my goodness, his voice is so hot! Oh my god!
And he's Commissioner Gordon, isn't he? He's James Gordon in the new Batman film.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
that's good to know. Well, that's going to be good, isn't it? I mean, Batman. I mean, what new sets could we potentially get from that? Because there's going to be
the list already leaked.
The list is out.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabby.
It leaked yesterday. So
I didn't know that.
I guess more details might be out soon because the list I saw a month ago also named some minifigs. Let's just say that. So I don't know when the rest of stuff are getting into.
And then there's price points as well, to be fair, which I quite like that. They might not be massive sets, but they look minifigure orientated and at good price. Like the big one looks to be around $70, which that I'd prefer that than a great big play set for a film that's probably going to be more adult orientated than than the play sets before, where they've put loads of stuff in for over $100. Might not be that, so it might be a bit more savvy on their part this time. I think looking at that list.
Okay, guys, on the panel, then what one are you guys going to go for? Then are we going to go for the big tumbler, or are we going to go for the little tumbler? Or
Small one's way better. That kind of kicked up my whole Batman Begins like nostalgia, which I believe is one of the best films. The big tumbler is great, but it's pricey, and I'll eventually wait and like pick that up. But the mini tumbler, I feel like that's one of the stats where I'm like, that's a day one buy. It's an attractive tumbler build, which Lego on a smaller scale has not found a way to make an attractive tumbler in a smaller scale.
I totally agree. That ice cream one, the one that everyone raves about, is not a very good looking tumbler at all.
And I mean, that's like even what, like a $60 set. But like if you look at like the Dark Knight Rises set with like the base tumbler, that is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. It doesn't even really like look like a tumbler.
Not when you've seen people who've done the minifigure scale mocks and you think it's easy for Lego to do it better. So I'm glad they've done one, and it definitely they won the small one for me, just for the tumbler and the minifigures. I'll probably get the big one, but not straight away. I'm a bit like BFAB.
I mean, there's going to be a double VIP point one for me, but I'll get the little one.
Or an A4 day, maybe I might get it because then I know I'm going to get 15% off it.
Hey!
Oh yeah, when's the A-fold day again then?
I don't know when the next one is. It's usually around. We had it in July, didn't we? So
yeah, I get an email from whoever now that says, "Oh, appreciation, blah blah blah." I must have joined up or something when I joined London AFOL.
If you give your VIP number to the ambassador for London AFOLs, they submit it on the LAN and then they send you the emails through, so you know when it is.
Yeah, wicked. Oh, that's how I must have got it then. I was thinking, how do they know me? But then of course, someone somewhere must have just said, "Oh, this is a good way of getting some cheap Lego." I said, "Yeah, just sign me up. I don't care."
Yeah, well, it is because you get 15% off the pad wall as well. When are you ever going to get that kind of deal anywhere?
15% off the pad wall.
I usually fill at least 3 or 4 cups. I don't know whether they do it.
Do you go into the shop with like a little card or something?
You have a digital one on your VIP digital one on your phone, and then it's got a badge on it that tells them that you're an AFOL.
Oh,
so
that's
interesting. It's well worth joining.
It'd be attractive to get in, but that's the case. I'm not going to apply.
No,
you'll get in.
We'll have you an hour.
I'm going to get the smaller minifig, the smaller Batmobile, the tumbler, because I think that just looks awesome. I always end up telling everybody, "Oh, I'm going to get the big this, I'm going to get the Ghostbusters car," and I never do. So I'm not going to say I'm going to get the big tumbler because I probably won't. There's so many other sets that I want. I like buildings and I like minifigures. So vehicles, I don't have space for them, and I'd love to get them. If I had a bigger house, I'd probably look into getting them. But smaller ones for me. The small Batmobile tumbler looks awesome, and I don't know if you guys noticed as well. I was talking to Ash and Flash about this a few weeks ago, and we were saying that like there's no DC. They've done nothing. This before we knew what we know, but there was no DC stuff. But if you look at the Lego website at the moment, they've got an entire section dedicated to DC and Batman, which is pretty cool. I think that's awesome. So,
but that's where I say I'd be interested to know how well Batman sells against Marvel. In all honesty, because I think he's got to be one of their best selling themes.
Yeah, no, Marvel sells decent. I don't think DC sells that well for Lego in the sense where I think it does probably average. Like I don't have numbers for that, but like if you look at like how little DC sets we've had over the last couple of years, clearly it's not profitable enough for Lego to continue it. There's not a lot of movies that's coming out for DC, so they can kind of push it.
That's the point.
I just want to say thank you to Mark or Monarch for the £2. Hi, Cy, Greg, Craig, Greg, and BFAB. Hope all is well. And I better give him a little shuffle.
There we go.
A nice little dance. Keel Jones is here. Is Greg building non-Lego again? No, Greg Brickitect is building. Voila.
Working on Iron Man.
There's
not much of a face right now, but we're working on it.
The world's ugliest Iron Man. Sorry,
Greg London Bridge Bricks is building. You building something?
I'm doing a little bit of assembly square.
Oh, very nice. Hello to the minifig who joined and so I don't think anyone else jumped in there. Oh, Gabby jumped in. Hi, Gabby. How are you? Everyone's talking to everyone else, which is good. It's what we like to see and hear.
I ignore everyone. What are you talking about, Si? I never acknowledge anyone.
Liar.
Unless
This,
you're famous. I'm like,
this
oh my
says,
goodness, it's a famous
I
person.
have no idea what the Pandora Vault is, lol, at PJ Brick from Brother from Another Brick. And then here we have, I'm doing all right, Mark. Liar. Let's talk about
You know, you
modulars.
caught me.
Yep. Let's talk about the modulars. BFAB, any info on what the new modular is going to be?
If I knew anything, I couldn't say anything, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything at all. I know it's the usual post office rumors, but like that comes up every year. But
So
haven't
I
heard
don't
anything.
think, I'm pretty sure it's not a post office. I'm pretty certain, but who knows?
I'm going to go for a hotel.
Hotel
I know what I want, but Lego ain't gonna make it.
I think Ryan had a non-Lego version of that, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a great thing. I'm just like, dang it, Lego, when's the UCS blank coming out? So,
hello to Dude Jude. Dude Jude is out there. I was talking to BFAB about this earlier on Instagram, and did anybody see the newest video from Just Too Good? The debate he was having with Ryan. It was really, really good.
I've not seen it yet.
It was a good video. It was a longer video. I feel like both of them really held some strong points. Like, I feel like none of them really backed down. None of them were like, oh, let me compromise on this. They all kind of stood true to themselves, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. And Justin gave him a bit, in a good way, because their friends gave him a bit of a hard time.
Yeah.
I want to watch that. I saw it.
Justin's a no-nonsense dude, so.
I want to check that out.
It's you do have to watch. It's really entertaining. We won't spoil any more on you. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, definitely go and watch it. Check that out. The other thing was BFAB. What was the last video you were doing that was to do with? I can't even remember her name. The dead girl in your video.
The dead girl. Oh, Bonquisha.
Yeah. What's happened to her? You said she was going to come back.
So a lot goes into my Q&A series, and that's why I stopped making it, because I would spend like so much time on like everything. So I have somebody doing like the animation. So like when like the whole storyline, like I'd script out a story, I'd outline it like, hey, do this, do that. But between doing like the animation for it and then like doing all the editing and having all the cool effects, and every time I talk, it took way too long. So I kind of cut the series. Just because it took too long. Will I ever bring it back? Who knows? I think people appreciated my Q&A series, but like it didn't get a lot of views. It did fairly average, right? But it also took 10 times as long as like an average video. So. But it was fun. I know people love the storyline. You know, we all kind of crafted out jokes. I'd write the script and like, yo, here, animate this for me, make it look cool. That was a lot of fun, though. So maybe one day I'll bring it back.
The funny thing is, when I joined, it kind of started looking at people's live streams and stuff. I saw this strange picture of a person on Brick Hive's live stream, and the person speaking sounded like BFAB, and I was like, that sounds like BFAB, and I was like, oh. And so I typed in, is that BFAB? And Brick Hive was just broke his ass laughing, like, no, that's Bonquisha. That's what. And I was convinced it was somebody that just sounded like you. I was convinced it was just somebody that sounded like you. I thought it was an actual woman that sounded like BFAB. Really freaked out. Alter egos.
Oh, it was fun. And the funny thing is, so a lot of people don't know this, but Brickitect is the reason why I developed the Bonquisha character. It was kind of a joke, and Greg said that news videos were boring. So I'm like, oh, screw this. I'm going to make this entertaining. So I invented Bonquisha, who was like my crazy ex-girlfriend. And so he did a video talking about Lego sets, and Greg's like, Greg's like, this is the funniest thing I've ever watched. Continue this. And so that's when I started pushing the whole Bonquisha character. So
I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah, Greg is the reason.
It's really freaky.
Like,
I gotta start keeping my opinions to myself.
Oh no, I think it was really funny because I was at work. I remember, and like everyone had covered like the Minecraft sets or something, and I'm like, well, you know what? Let me just. No one's gonna watch my video, so it's like BFAB's like ex-girlfriend like covers like the news, and so I just developed this character. Then people are like, "This is either the funniest or cringiest thing we've ever watched." So,
but at least it's something, right?
I'm like, "What it do, baby boo? My name is Bonquisha, and today we're talking about the new Lego sets." Can I even do the Bonquisha voice anymore? Who does?
I would love to
Um,
see like more characters like that. Like if people did news, but as a certain character, like it's pretty common in the video game space. Like you have a person like Dr. Disrespect. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but
I
he
know who he
plays
is.
like
Yep.
he plays like this role as he's like doing his live streams, and it's like that'd be so cool if somebody did that. Like I've always like wanted some type of like fake drama in the Lego space, but then I did it and it was like a really bad idea.
Yeah,
Where
we know what
almost like wrestling, how you have like these storylines where it's like this guy does something and then there's like the bad guy and you go back and forth. I would love to see something like that.
Greg, I'll start drawing with you any day. My channel's dead, so I'm down.
I tried doing it as a joke with Ryan and it didn't go well.
You know what was really funny? I still remember when you did that, how many A-falls you pissed off. Oh, he's just manufacturing drop. I'm like, guys, chill. It's a joke. It's a joke.
It was, oh yeah. If you haven't noticed, people, they don't like that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, and that's why I push it more, guys. BFAB rated R content coming soon to a theater near you. So.
oh boy.
all right. Greg, I wanted to go back. Actually, there's one thing I forgot to ask you about the channel. Basically, how long were you waiting to get to 100,000 subscribers? Because I remember on Ryan and Just Too Good's podcast, they had gotten it. They were 100,000, and you weren't far off. I think it might have been about 80 or 90,000, 100,000. How long did it take for you to actually get the 100,000?
I don't know. It depends on when you start. I guess like I consider my start time to be like fall of 2017, like
Right.
probably like September, October. Even though I was making videos before that, like there was really nothing there. And then it was probably I think May of 2020, somewhere in that range. It happened. But like it's not like when it happened, my life changed or like it was this amazing thing. Like it's still this. It's just a number, honestly. And it goes up, it goes down, but it doesn't change who I am or what I do. So.
Greg was more douchey. Once he hit 100K, I had to talk to his managers to talk to him. So
Yeah. I was like, have your people call my people, BFAB. We'll straight.
yeah, and then
must
I'm like, what? Greg, are you kidding me? And then like after talking to that manager, I had to talk to another manager. Then I talked to another manager. Then I had to pay that manager, and then I finally got to talk to Greg. So
Yeah,
It must be a Greg thing because Greg Lunderbridge Bricks has an entourage that follows him around, and they hold up his 27-inch iPad, and they touch up his hair and put bits of hair on when it moves and stuff. It's fantastic to watch.
I hope you know this is all real.
Hey, let's not make any
100%
hair
real.
jokes here, okay?
I
can't-
those in glass houses and all that.
Oh,
I'm comfortable with my baldness and my manscaping as well.
I've also embraced that. Like I can rock a bald head. Like I've embraced that. Luckily, I'm not balding yet. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it. But yeah.
Is your
dude,
dad
when you
bald?
had your head shaved years ago, I saw a picture of you. I was scared. I thought you were like a UFC fighter or something.
I look kind of scary.
The Rock.
And now with like hair, I still look scary, but it's like less scary. I don't know. I look like an egg, like a living egg, like a very mad egg. If an egg could be mad, that was me a couple of years ago.
You were kind of ripped then too, so that might have
I
had
know,
something.
Greg. Don't remind me that I'm fat now, okay?
I think you're lying though.
Good, man.
BFAB's like,
I
I
am
gained 2
200.
pounds.
Okay,
I'm fat.
when I first let's see met you, Greg, I was about 190 pounds. Now I'm 230 pounds of sexy fat. Okay, so yeah.
Sexy fat. Does that mean?
Yeah,
it
the
burns
women are just like,
longer?
"Oh, are you pregnant?" I'm just like, "No, I just have a beer belly." What do you mean, am I pregnant?
I say the more the merrier.
That's what I say until I can't walk up the stairs. I'm like, I just run a mile. Oh my god, this is bad. So yeah, maybe we'll see a BFAB transformation series next year. How I became
I would sub.
ripped
I'll
again.
resub for that, BFAB.
You were supposed to do that with CC last year. You're both supposed to have this weight losing competition, and
I blame
what happened to
CC.
that?
He vanished from the community. He's like, I'm out of here. And I'm like, yo, CC. No, it's actually my fault. I'm just like, I got this, guys. I lose 2 pounds, put back on 10, lose 3, put back on 20. And I'm like, I don't feel like this is working out. And then CC vanished. And she's like, you know what? You're not going to do this. And I'm like, you're right, CC. You're right. You win.
I mean, I was talking to one of the dads at the school the other day, and we were talking. He like, I don't know what he's young. I think he's younger than me, but he had a heart attack last year, and that scared the crap out of me. I was like, oh my god! But I met him, and I hadn't spoken to him for like ages because of the coronavirus and everything. And I said to him, God, you look really well. You've lost weight, and you can say that to a guy, and he won't be pissed off because you know. If you, I won't go into that, but you can say to a guy, you won't be pissed off, and he said, "Oh, thanks very much." And I said, "Did you just from walking, or did you go to the gym?" He said, "Literally, I just walk, and I walk in a loop around where we live and everything." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's what my plan is." I've been saying it since the 1st of September, though. But every night, it's really bad, and I know everyone's going to be like, "What?" Every night, myself and Lorraine, it's usually me instigating it. We have a cornetto every night. I don't know if you have cornetto.
No, Sty O'Connor.
What is that?
Gonna help.
Is that like
you
a
have
treat?
cornettos in America, yeah?
No,
I have no idea. It sounds like a cookie.
It's like Italian ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Give it to me.
It's like a frozen soft serve in a waffle cone with chocolate down the middle. Oh.
That sounds
I'm
amazing.
so embarrassed. But every night, Greg, it's like a joke, and I keep saying to Lorraine, "This is the last one." And we have one the next night and the next night.
Well, Sai, you do this show once a week, right? You do this show and then you do London Calling. Why don't you do it on a treadmill? Have it right there where you're at, and you can walk for 2 hours. You can
Greg,
get
that is horrible advice. Just picture somebody hosting a stream running on a treadmill. Hey guys, Zio, Cutter, here. Okay.
I don't know. He's pretty good at it. I think if he keep the oxygen going, I think he'd have it down.
The problem with Sai is, Greg, he sweats really easily. You know,
it might bring in the viewers. I don't know. There's probably a thing on YouTube for sweaty bald dudes. I guarantee it.
I would watch.
At least I'm hoping so. You know,
definitely on Twitch.
Twitch, yeah.
All I can see now though is Sai on a treadmill with a cornetto doing a live stream.
I would watch that any day. I'd put that on the big screen. Like, that's big screen content.
So you should do that. Do one of those videos where you know, get your GoPro or something, and you're eating a cornetto, and you're on like like a roller coaster or something like that.
Oh,
are you guys trying to kill Simon? I think Greg also said Brickitect. Greg said do it for 2 hours. 2 hours on a treadmill? I can barely run 10 minutes on a treadmill. I'm just like, okay, I think I worked out.
No, he's walking casually, just a really
casually
slow walk. He's chatting, he's walking. You know, he'd be shredded with
like a
Greg has been in the green room before London Calling or before whatever, and I'd forget something. I run downstairs, I come back up, and I'm and he's like, "Are you out of breath?" I'm like, and I'm in bits. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I start running places, but that embarrassed myself. People are like, one, first, wow, I didn't know you were pregnant. Two, your belly's like slapping across your shirt every time you run. So now I just walk really fast. I'm just like, oh, no one can see my belly bouncing back and forth. You know, it's like a bouncy ball. You know.
But every super
Thank you for painting that vision. I really appreciate that.
No, the worst thing is in the car, and we're driving along and we go over some bumps. I can feel my man boobs bouncing. I need a bra.
I can't say that I have that problem because my shirts are always so tight. If my boobs were bouncing, my shirt would like snap it back in and be like, bam, you ain't moving today. So, yeah.
You should do those TikToks then, Sai. Show off those man boobs.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that would get watched.
I saved Sai's blushes the other day, didn't I, Sai? He was just about to go live, and I said, Sai, you've got a big sticker going down your shirt with the size of your shirt on it. I was like,
technically, he didn't really say it like that. He said, Sai, take off the fat bastard sticker on your t-shirt. I was like, oops, okay. He really did. I'm not making it up.
He did, yeah, I was there. He did.
Oh, God.
No, I'm a little bit more diplomatic than Sai is, so well, in private anyway, I'm not.
I still think you're on a winner there. Get on the treadmill, and every super chat, the speed goes up.
Oh my God.
Oh wait, I think a better idea. How about if you get super chats, you go on the treadmill? Like every super chat, you run for a certain amount of time. You might be able to get more super chats. I know, like Eric, he does push-ups to get super chats. He's gotten a decent amount of money doing push-ups. Even though his push-up form sucks.
I spent €20 on Eric's stream one day making him do push-ups.
He found a way to make money and work out because I don't know. I don't know if Sai knows this, but Eric used to be like morbidly obese. Like,
no way.
I think close to like 300 pounds. So I've known Eric for like 4 or 5 years. But like, Yeah, and so he one day decided he's like, I'm going on a water fast, and I still remember this was when I was skinnier than Eric. I was 160, he was like 300 pounds, and he's like, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm like, no, you aren't, Eric. You've said this before. All of a sudden, within like 6 months, he's dropped like 50 pounds. I think now Eric is like 170, 180, I think, or maybe I'm exaggerating, but like he's lost like a lot. Eric's lost like a crap ton of weight, so it's crazy, and now he makes money doing it too. Yeah, I'll do a push-up. My form sucks, but I'll do a push-up for money.
It's a win-win, I think.
Yeah. Were you there on that live stream that day, BFAB? Were you not supposed to do some push-ups or something? Oh, do you know?
No, here's the thing. People try. Okay, so the deal is Eric does push-ups for money. Then people are like, ha, BFAB, I'll drop a $5 if you do a push-up. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do a push-up. You think I'm gonna sell it for $5?
He's like, I'll do it for 10.
It was Land of Sweet. She was doing push-ups or something as well, or splits or so. I can't remember. But
oh, that person. I remember her.
Actually, that's how I met Land of Sweet on Greg's live stream. I think that was my first live stream with Greg, and she was on.
It's all BFAB's fault that she came to be.
Oh, yeah. Do you know how Lando even became a part of the Lego community? It was a Cut the Craggle stream, and she kept making comments, and we were like, yeah, this is probably a 40-year-old man. And she kept like, no, I'm a girl. Stop it. I'm a girl. And I'm like, nah, it's a 40-year-old man who's probably going to do something inappropriate when they join the stream. And for all we knew, it was a female. And we were all shocked for like the next hour. So.
See, this proves once again that BFAB is the glue that holds the Lego community together. He finds all these people, and they come in, and sometimes they become great friends. Other times, I don't know what happened with her or where she's at these days, but it happens.
Yeah,
she's kind of vanished a little bit, so I haven't seen her in a while.
That has happened though, guys, on the panel. Don't you think though, in the last year, like there's so many Lego YouTubers who have come and gone, and really good Lego YouTubers as well. It just seems to be. The last few months, there just seems to be fallout of people.
It's the same. I think people are going back to their regular life now. They're like, okay, I'm done with this.
It's always been like that in the lugs as well. People come like really, really, really talented builders that do shows and then disappear again. You never hear from them. Some of them keep paying the membership, but they don't come. I think it's just part of hobby life. It's not just necessarily a Lego life. People come in and out of hobbies all the time.
I mean, as somebody who's been a part of the Lego community for such a long time, I've always been able to adjust and join new groups. So if I lose a group, I'll become a part of a new group. I'll become a part of multiple groups. So it has never really affected me.
There's always like a core.
I think about sometimes. I think about Chris from Brickitect. I was like, man, this dude's gonna have 100,000 subscribers in 3 months. And then I'm like, hey, what happened to this guy? Where'd he go? He was so good.
Yeah, no, he just didn't enjoy it anymore. I know, when he left, I immediately am like, yo, are you good? Because I was his member, and he canceled his membership. I'm like, yo, dude, what's going on? And he kind of explained that, he just doesn't enjoy the whole, making videos anymore. And, I'm like, yo, dude, you should stay. You have 10,000 subs. In a year, you got to 10,000 subs, which is insane, right? But he's not having fun with it anymore, and then he has to get back to work, and it kind of sucks. He was a really nice guy, and I really enjoyed talking to him. So
he was one of the best UK YouTubers, without a doubt. And I was, Chris, if you ever watch this back one day, I hope all is good with you, mate. It's just.
I almost reached out to him a week ago, but I saw that he viewed my story, and he usually doesn't. I'm like, oh, what? Chris viewed my story? Should I message him and be like, yo, what's up?
I still chat to him regularly.
Yeah, I sent him a message. I was talking to him the other day, and Steph was talking to Steph as well the other day.
Yeah, they're still doing their
I miss them. I feel like they were such a big part of the Lego community. I still remember their streams. They had 100+ people. We'd all be chatting, and I'd donate and say something stupid and as a joke, and it was a lot of fun. And and they take things really well. So it made the experience for me at least a lot more enjoyable. And I like Steph and I like Chris. They're just really nice people. So it kind of sucks that he got burnt out. But we all kind of have that phase where we get burnt out. Now he chose to completely kind of leave the community, but a lot of us will kind of push through it or take a break. But he has to do what he has to do. So
yeah.
And the good thing is we all respect that, and that's Chris does pop on to the channel now and then when I ask him if he's free, and I think he was on about 3 or 4 weeks ago, wasn't he? So he still jumps in. He's very interested in what are they called, Greg? The
Hasbro Black Series. Yeah,
Okay.
these things, which I'm constantly fighting not to go and buy, because they are pretty cool, to say the least.
I try to resist.
This is a good one.
I know I've tried to talk Brickitect into getting Funko Pops.
Oh, I know if I started doing Funko, it would be never ending. I'd have a
I was
whole
gonna
wall.
say, y'all know Greg's addictive personality, right?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it would just be endless. I can't.
I'm the same.
He'd be like, Miss Brickitect, you are moving out today. I need some room for my Funko Pops. You can live in the barn. I know you don't have a. Do you have a barn? I don't think you have a barn.
I mean, I kind of need one at this point. So
yeah, you can throw Miss Brickitect in the barn. I'm kidding.
I
Yeah,
delete you, BFAB.
High T Toys says Chris has been such an influence on me, and his community was awesome.
Yeah, it's a bummer when you see so much like promise in somebody, and they're if they're not into it though, that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe someday he'll be like, I'm gonna kick this out again. But he had some momentum going. That sucks to like let that go.
Greg, I've a few more things to ask you actually. First of all, I better write that one down. First of all, chickens. I know I never ask when I'm on your live stream, but do you have like a little farm going on, or what's the story with the chickens?
Oh, that's my life goal, is to have a farm someday. But I just have some backyard chickens, and I love them. I love birds and animals like that, and taking care of them and stuff. So we have a dog, a cat, and a bunch of chickens right now.
Your dog is so cool. I love watching your unboxing videos, and all of a sudden she's over and her nose is everywhere, and she's sniffing and she's licking, and she's trying to find out if someone sent biscuits and stuff. It's so funny.
Yeah, she's been spoiled in mail time, just like we all have. So sometimes if she's down here and she smells something in there, she gets very interested in it to find out what it is.
She's old a cute dog.
It's
How old is she now?
I just love animals. Like, my dream someday is just to have like a little farm with, like goats and chickens, and I like to get some ducks. I've been watching this guy's channel that has ducks, and I just love them so much. But it's
until you have to kill them for food,
I also want to travel though too, and if you get all these animals, it makes it a little bit harder to have somebody be like, hey, can you watch my dog? Can you feed my chickens? Which they are pretty self-sufficient, but it's like, and can you watch my ducks? I want to get a parrot. Like, it gets harder and harder to have somebody to do that.
Oh no! Don't tell me that Brickitect inspired you to want to get a parrot, Greg.
I love birds. I do. Wouldn't it be cool to have a Lego channel with a bird
every time I heard his parrot, I'm just like, I'm an animal lover, I'm a vegan, but I will stone that parrot to death. No, I'm kidding.
No, I want to dress as the Lego pirate and then have the parrot on my shoulder. So.
You were quite close to getting a bird, though, weren't you?
Yeah, Mrs. Brickitect isn't 100% on board with it, but I imagine if I really wanted it, I could make it happen.
Yeah, you have to divorce her.
Imagine us doing mail time, and it's like me, Clark, the dog, the bird, like just everybody's here doing it.
So much.
When I was growing up, my dad had a turco toucan, and he used to do adverts for Guinness with it. So if you ever saw a toucan, it was our toucan.
That's your toucan that I see all over Dublin.
No, that was in the 80s. It's a long time ago.
The same one.
Yeah,
he's still alive, probably.
He got him from the zoo because he broke his beak, and they actually glued it back together with cow glue. And they needed a home for it, so he came to stay with my dad. So he had like a mark down the side of his beak, but so we used to just call him.
What a cool story.
Crazy.
That's very cool.
I just want to say hi to Captain Zan, who dropped in. Dude Jude dropped in as well, saying hello to us. I think I said hello to the minifig who. El Cobra Commander is there also. We said hello. Oh, Lyndon is here. Hey, Lyndon, how's it going? Tim Banbridge dropped in. He's saying hello to Zan. Slug Biker says a parrot is a very long commitment. Yeah. They live for decades. Be prepared before you get one.
That was what I was reading. It's like, if you get a parrot, you almost need to have a plan for like after you, because that parrot's probably going to outlive you. So it almost becomes like a part of your will. Where is this thing going, and who's going to take care of it?
Like Shy and his tortoises.
Yeah.
We had loads of birds. We used to have a minor bird as well. The birds that copy, and he came from his owner passed away and from old age, and we got the bird. My dad got the bird, and all he ever used to say was, "Where's Rykon? Where's Rykon?"
No.
Yeah.
Sad.
So you had these birds as a kid, but you don't have any as an adult. There must be a reason for that.
Just the same as what you said. It's having them as a kid and knowing how much care goes into them. They are so tying. I've had like cockatiels before, but I've not had any parrots like my dad had African greys and cockatoos and
You really have to give them a lot of attention too. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to engage with them, or else get another bird to engage with them too.
Yeah.
Hi,
We,
Thomas.
we had a cockatoo that couldn't stay once called Edward. He used to drive everybody mad. He would just wait till the whole room was quiet and then just start creating. He was an absolute nightmare.
Fooling with Brick says parrots can suffer with depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He worked. Did he work? Say last night he worked in a pet
Yeah, he
shop.
went to pet
In a
shop,
pet
yeah.
store, yeah.
Did he get a lead from fooling?
Yeah, lizard leashes, wasn't it? He used to sell.
Lizard leashes,
leash.
cat leashes.
Yeah.
Someone was talking about human leashes. That was a different shop. I think that was
a different
BFAB.
one. Yeah, BFAB.
What? Can I talk to you
Excellent.
about something that you might be? It might bring up some bad memories. LAN. With myself, I didn't know whether I wanted to talk to you about LAN because I
I
know
like the way you
Yeah.
didn't ease into that one, Sire.
I'll talk about
you know me. I'm subtle as a rock. How many times did you apply for LAN? First of all, and why? What was their excuse, or why do you think you didn't get in?
I applied twice. I applied once, and I was declined because I used the Lego minifigure in my channel logo, which is a property of Lego. A kid made it for us. They made me like me and Clark as sig figs, or Clark and I used it as my logo, and they weren't down with that, so I was declined. And I was like, okay, that's fine, understandable. And then I talked about my experience on the podcast with Ryan and Justin, and the main LAN guy, Kim, reached out to me, and he was like, you should reapply. That's not enough of a reason to be declined. You should reapply, and I'll approve it. I'm like, okay. So I did that, and like they never like reviewed it. And within the time frame of like a year, he ended up getting fired or let go or whatever. And then the next guy came in, and he was like, no, you're declined because you make content that isn't tailored towards AFOLs. And like at that point, I'm just like, okay, I'm done then at this point. I don't plan to ever
really dumb reasons for rejecting people. I know, like when I got rejected twice,
in that
it was
same
the
round,
copy and paste email, you know?
in the same round, a lot of people got rejected for any reason they could choose. Like for me, like that's fine. Like I don't make traditional Lego content like what I think they're looking for. Like you have the brand new sets when they come out. You're not actively hunting for clearance and like getting the yard sale stuff, or doing Lego news. Like I don't do those things. I just share my experience. But in sharing our experience, I think I could demonstrate a Lego set very well, and not only what it is to build, but also to enjoy with the demographic that Lego's trying to reach. But yeah, like the first time I got declined, I said LAN is dead to me, and Kim was like, you should reapply. And then after I got turned down again, I'm like, they're absolutely dead. So mark my words, I will never ever reapply for LAN. And this is before it became trendy to like leave LAN. And if they ever reached out to me and said, we would love to have you, I would say absolutely not, because you missed that.
The thing is, Kim made a lot of promises. I know, like when I talked to Kim, but I remember the first time I got rejected, I left him a very angry email. So this was like years ago. Because the second time I got rejected, I also left a really angry email. But so I sent him a really angry email saying like, this is that, why I should be in LAN, why I could help them. Here's where Lego's doing wrong. He's like, yeah, if you apply again, gain a little more subs, gain more. He's like, I will guarantee to let you in. And then he got fired, and then that was kind of out the window too. So I mean, in general, I'm just saying I got rejected from LAN twice. I'm too attractive for LAN. So I think that they're looking for a very unattractive group of people. So
the thing that frustrated me was like I wasn't even going to reapply. I didn't have any interest in reapplying, but he actively sought me out and emailed me and said reapply. That was the only reason I did, just to get declined again, which was frustrating, because it was just like that old wound just came right back in. And for me, it would be cool getting free sets, but for me at the time when I applied, being in the LAN was almost like I want to say like a status symbol. Like you've made it in the Lego community. You've been recognized by Lego. And for them to turn me down like that after for 3 years of making daily content, like showing their products and experiencing them, to be like crapped on, when I have other companies that reach out to me that are just like, hey, you made like one video about this thing. We would love to send you this thing, or we'd love to work with you on this. And I'm like, why isn't Lego doing this? Like I've given so much to the company, and obviously they don't owe me anything. Yeah. But I think if you pick one example that I think would have been fantastic for them to work with me on, would have been the roller coaster, the big roller coaster. I got a video like of us doing the haul on it and unboxing it. I did multiple streams of building it with my wife, and then a video of us like finishing it and demonstrating it. We did a video of us powering it. Just think how much value Lego would have gotten had they sent that to us. Like I bought that with my own money, and did all these videos, like had they just sent me that roller coaster, all of that stuff versus one review that someone may have made have been like, hey, here's a roller coaster and this is how it works.
Do you think do you think you as a person did that affect you the second time? Did you look at your channel and go, am I doing something wrong? Am I going to stick with what I'm doing? Because on your community tab for a while, you had a lot of questions asking people what they'd like to see and ideas and stuff. Did you ever think to yourself, you know, maybe not even to do with LAN, but did you? It looked like you had a kind of a thought process that made you think that you want to shift something or anything like that.
No, that had nothing to do with LAN. That's just when you're doing something like this and it's a business, which I sometimes have to remind myself it is. It's good to reach out to your audience or your customers in this case and say, okay, we do this way now. What would you like to see? What's something that new you'd like to see? What's something we do now that you'd like less of? Because ultimately you don't have so much time and so much things you can make. What is it that your audience wants to see, and who better to ask than the people that are actively watching, you know?
I think there's a lot of issues with the LAN that kind of need to like be worked out and stuff. I know for me, like the second time they rejected me, they said I don't engage with the community enough. Now, if anyone knows me, I am one of the people, at least, you know, when I had got rejected, I was in everyone's live streams. I was hanging out with everyone. So I was offended, right? Like, because they were saying I don't engage in the community enough. And I'm like, I'm in everyone's streams. I'm joining streams. I'm talking to people. And people are like, well, being engaged in streams doesn't mean you deserve to be in the LAN. I'm like, dude, I'm engaging with more people than anyone else. I am meeting new people every day. I'm subbing to new channels. I'm promoting people. Like, without sounding cocky, I'm just like, I feel like I'm a huge part of the community. Even though I'm not a big YouTuber and I don't have the reach regarding videos, regarding community, I've made so many relationships happen. I've promoted people. I've joined people's streams. I've helped grow people's channels. And so when they said that I'm not a part of the community, I was pissed, you know, and I sent the dude an email and put him in his place, you know? So
I don't think I'm not sure anyone really knows what their idea of a community is, because Chris from Brickitect had a community. He had members. He was streaming he would make videos every single day. He was going out on trying to get stuff early, you know, from different shops. And to a lot of us, like, that was, you know, we thought that's what Lego were looking for. But I mean, with BFAB, you don't show Lego sets when they come out. You don't build Lego sets. You're part of the community. But I don't know, maybe that's what they were looking for. Maybe someone who...
like that sense, that kind of killed me wanting to make videos and me wanting to build stuff and all that stuff. Like, the thing is, so the first time I got rejected was like 4 or 5 years ago when I didn't really have a following, but I still engaged a lot with the community. And then I think the second time I got rejected, I kind of got really pissed off, threw a fit about it, you know, made some comments, got canceled. All this stuff kind of like played into me being frustrated, because like you feel like you put a lot towards a community and then instead you get nothing in return. Like, I will never, like, there have been people who have helped me along the way, but no one has fully made me who I am. I've gone out of my way to build connections, form friendships, help people out, and I've never expected anything in return. You know, like, that's never been my goal. So when Lego's like, yeah, you're not a part of the community, I got pissed. Because I'm like, you're disrespecting me. Say you don't want me in LAN because of this reason, but don't tell me that I'm not a part of the community and I don't do enough for the community, because I do a lot more than 95% of everyone.
I think they're looking for a very cookie cutter type of channel. Like, when I got declined, I wasn't as upset about me getting declined as I was about Jabbo Brixar. Like, he applied at the same time, and I was like, if there's any human on this planet that deserves to be in the LAN, it's that man right there. Like, he's dedicated his life to this. He's got like probably a better Lego collection and more substantial one, and like a museum than any other person that you could run into. And this dude is like, he's declined just because he doesn't make the videos that they're actively looking for. And that to me is like a deal breaker.
Also, boys, I hate to cut y'all off, but I have to pop out. I had future or prior commitments to join another stream, but you guys are amazing. Thanks for having me on. It's amazing talking to all of you guys, and I do appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are beautiful people, and take care, guys.
Take care, baby. See you soon. We're going to go on for another 15 minutes. What we'll do is start winding it down anyway, and because it was only supposed to be a 2-hour one, but it's so entertaining. I just want to say hi to Tommy Seabricks. Hey, Tommy, how's it going? Good to see you. I didn't know they had a Bricklink store, so Tommy Seabricks has a Bricklink store. Yeah, well, that's what I could have sworn I saw Mrs. Seabricks showing pictures of it on today on Instagram. It's Not Okay is here also. Hey, It's Not Okay. Michaela and Tim is here. I think I said hello to Tim already. I think so. So, Greg, what is next for Brickitect?
I am kind of changing directions a little bit. And it's going to be interesting because I honestly feel like a lot of the audience that I've built up in these past few years, I don't know if they're going to like where we're going with this. Lately, like I guess the last few years, it's kind of been like I've been home with Clark every single day. We've been kind of sharing like what we're doing that day in the world of Lego. And now, like with him going to school, I have more time to put into like I think like upping the quality a little bit, if you will. So I'm kind of creating new series. I'm still looking for the plural of the word series. So like series, I think is what it is. But I'm kind of making like various shows that come out. So I have a new series called How Bad Is It? Where I take non-Lego items and I tell you like, does it suck like you think it does? Or maybe this thing's actually not so bad. I do a series where I'm buying on eBay with a budget. So I'm starting with $1 and working my way up like to $5, $10, $20 and seeing what the coolest thing I can buy. I've got like all these different ideas of things I want to do. And I think it'll be fun to see where it goes. That being said, like with Clark not being as active on the channel, we're going to have this changeover again where it went from like people that hated Clark to people that only want to see Clark to people that are looking for more maybe mature content. I'm also starting a Lego amusement park, which I think is going to be starting this week. I just ordered base plates for that. And that's going to be like building a Lego amusement park with my son, which is something that I haven't seen before. Like I've seen a lot of people's Lego cities, but I've never seen a 6-year-old build a Lego city with their dad, and I'm like incorporating his builds into it. So there might be something that looks completely crazy, but that's going to be it. So just a lot of stuff, and I feel like I'm going to be putting a lot more time into like the direction that I see going forward, which is like shows on the channel. And if something works, just like on a television station, you'll see the ratings and you'll be like, okay, this is working with people. This maybe not. We'll put less time into that and just see where it goes. I'm excited.
That is awesome. I mean,
but it's a scary thing because it's like anytime you change your stuff up, it leaves it open to be like, hey, this isn't really what I want to watch this for.
Yeah, I get you. We're talking to Randy tonight. He was on the channel, and I was saying to him, like, I was watching. There was a time when he in his video, he actually said he was just throwing things at the wall to see what would stick, and he even said the other night he's still doing it. See, I mean, you can't let things go stale. You do have to change things up, and people probably forget as well that a lot of subscribers that a lot of people had, like Ryan and Justin and everybody, Jang, we were talking to Jang about this actually as well. A lot of old, the original subscribers, they're all a lot older now. They've moved on, and people want to watch different things. And I think your channel has a very young viewership at the moment. Hey Ross, Mr. Soros. And sometimes the content you make has to be a little bit more PG than say some of the stuff that on my videos I always keep them PG. On my live streams it goes south all the time, but like we're very good today. But yeah, did you feel like you have to be extra careful when you make stuff?
I don't feel like I have to be extra careful because I make content that I would want Clark to watch, or like that I think is appropriate for everyone. Like I wouldn't actively be like swearing and stuff anyway on video. So I mean, I just make the stuff that I would want to watch and that people can enjoy. And I think that's what I like most about hearing from people is that my channel is one that someone Clark's age can enjoy, and also someone that my age can enjoy. Like I hear from kids and their parents, and that's hard to find because I watch the stuff that Clark watches, and it's like as an adult you would never ever want to be a part of that. So it's cool to like bridge that gap. Unfortunately, like you're kind of between two different areas because I think there's people that want just adult content, there's kids that just want kids, and we're kind of like we're in a question mark area there in the middle where it's like I don't know. So I just keep doing what I want to do, and hopefully there's people out there that want to watch it.
Yeah, myself and Nullig have watched your videos together lots of times as well. He loves your dog. He's not into cats at all. Do you know what? We had a kitten living. It wasn't living. Lorraine went out one day and she heard this meowing and she was like, "There's a cat." And I said, "Where?" And she said, "It's in the bush." And I said, "That's not in the bush." And I went to the car bonnet and it was in the bloody car bonnet and it was a kitten. So I opened it up and the kitten was still lying meow meow. So I put my hand in gently to take it out and it ran off underneath the engine. And I was like, "Oh no!" So we had She had to go to work. Like there's just no way about it. So the cat ventured off to work with her in the engine of the car. Stop, Craig. Oh, I thought you were that. Oh. Yeah, but eventually we got the cat out and it was fine. It's alive. We get pictures of it all the time. I wasn't allowed to keep it. It had ringworm or something. But Nullik likes that cat, but he hates cats. He just won't. He doesn't like them. He loves dogs. But cats freak him out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I love cats. I had a cat called Alan.
I love all pets. They're so much fun.
Except spiders. They're horrible.
Yeah, that's not a pet.
You horrible.
I like cuddly ones.
What we'll do is we're going to wind it down now. So I will pass it over to you, Greg from Brickitect. Do you have anything coming up on your channel that you want to tell us? Do you want to promote your other channels? You changed the name of one of them to Greg's.
Yeah, I just changed my gaming channel to Greg's Arcade, but no, I don't really have anything to promote. It's just me sharing my life and stuff. And if that's something that you're interested in and you want to come along in the journey, you're welcome to do that. I sometimes build Lego sets and I actually finish them and they're not in the backlog anymore. So there's that. So yeah, I appreciate having me on, Sai. And man, as an interviewer, you're on top of your game. You did a great job. And I feel bad for everyone that had to listen to my story ramble on forever.
Everyone's here to hear it, or else they wouldn't be here at all.
Well, I appreciate it, guys.
No worries. Craig, what have you got going on? Twitch, YouTube?
I'm still sorting through this mess. I don't know if I'll get any chance to do anything this weekend, but I think I've got 10 of them, so that's quite good.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Already.
And I forgot about the Nexo Knights characters, how cool they actually were. I mean, he's ace.
That is actually pretty cool, is it?
Yeah.
No, they could do like an Iron Man like that.
Yeah, even the little ones were.
I got some of those free in the magazines, the Nexo Knight magazines.
Yeah. There's a Winter Soldier in here as well, but I think it's a common one. I've got a rarer one than him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I'm busy doing me mills. My mills is coming on nicely. I'll move out the way.
Oh, I've got to get some meals. Greg, are you going to do some meals for your
fairground?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We'll see. I've got some ideas.
I'm just shocked how long that road is there, Craig.
Yeah, I just want a big long road across the front that the kids can drive the cars up and play with, because it's all about being able to play with it. So
that's what I did with the Gondon, because I want, because we're always building cars and stuff like that, especially on the backlog. I just thought we'll have the display of all the different cars on the big main road. So that's why I did like a double road. And then I can just put everything on there, and that kind of is the part of the city that will change continuously.
Yeah.
Every time they come in here, they grab one of the cars and drive it up and down the road as I'm building it. So it's working.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
That's what it's about.
Yeah,
exactly. Mr. Soros is here saying howdy all. I asked Emily to come on today. They're out and about, so she'll come on again. She was very disappointed because she wanted to meet Greg from Brickitect. She's met everyone else before, but it would have been cool for her to meet you. So next time we're on, we'll have Emily on, and it'll be an even bigger party. Mr. Greg from London Bridge Bricks, what have you got going on your channel for the next few days and week?
Well, I'm going to try and do a vlog video on the London Brick Fest that happened last Sunday, Si. It's a time thing, unfortunately. And then there's going to be you and me on Wednesday. And then there's going to be London Calling number 86 on Friday. You and me again on Thursday, obviously on your channel. And then next weekend, I don't know if I'm going to do it on Saturday or Sunday yet. But I'm going to do a review of Blocks Magazine live. And do a Kahoot after it as well, based on the magazine itself. So
that'll be win this time.
Good bit of interaction. That is, they always go down really well, and they actually turned into some of my favourite streams as it happens. The last one was really good fun. So yeah, that's a stream with Kahoot. What could possibly go wrong? I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out this time next week.
Just going back on the show thing. What's interesting? It'll be interesting to see your take on that show, because I don't think you've been to many shows, have you, Greg?
I've been to one tiny one before, one in Caterham. It was in a school hall and it was okay. It was good, but I was just like, and I went to this one and I said to the guys when I got there, I said, after being there for about an hour or so, I said, can you please put some details on your website as to what people are going to get when they come to these things? And he said, oh, well, we was all sold out. So we didn't think we needed to. And I'm like, but I'm all over the Lego, as it were, more than the average sort of person. And I said to her, I had no idea what I was walking into. So I kind of went there with this fascination. It was like a kid in a giant toy store. It was fantastic. It was really, really good. But I found myself asking people lots of questions about why did they do this? Why did they do that? Who designed this? Why did you put it together like that? And it kind of came into a bit of an interview thing. I was like a poor man's Beyond the Brick, if you like. So I was I'm thinking next year in February the 13th, if anyone's interested, folks, there's going to be another London festival. And I'll go to that, and I might go with a mic and a camera and maybe interview a few peeps. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed that. It's kind of like something different to do, but not from the point of view that I'm an interviewer, because I'm not an interviewer. But from a point of view, I like what I'm looking at, and I want to know more about it. And a bit like what Greg over there says as well. I want to know a little bit behind the scenes about the person that's built it. Why did they build that? What's the story behind it? And that's the one thing I love about live streams, and I love about what we do. It's the stories, and stories are very important, folks, more than ever before. They really, really are. But anyway, Si, in a nutshell, that's me for the week.
But yeah, and I was going to say is that when them shows come back and start building back up again as well, that what you see on the front as well as a visitor is a small percentage of what goes on, because there's like the airfall nights, there's all the setup and breaking down, there's all the camaraderie behind the scenes as well, which would be quite good if you could get in with that show as well. And
that's what I want to show behind those sort of scenes, because and I'm at London AFOL as well. I knew some of the people that were showing stuff there, and I'm like, I didn't even know this was happening. Literally, about 5 days before the show, I didn't even know it existed. And I live in London, and I'm into Lego, and I didn't even know it was on. So there we go. That's marketing for you, folks.
We do an annual one. Obviously, I haven't done it the last few years, up at a special school up in Bedale. And although it raises a tremendous amount of money for the school, like they bought sensory equipment and defibrillators and all sorts of things over the years, the main reason people go is because we can stay on the school site overnight, so you'd have to find accommodation. So it's basically just an excuse to have a huge barbecue, which is become legendary, and have a few drinks, have a good laugh, play some quizzes, and do stuff with just like-minded people, a bit like what we're doing on here, but in person. And that's probably what makes the shows, better than what you see on the front, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed it. I think it was good, and I'm definitely going to be going to a lot more. That's for sure.
So I ended the poll, and the results didn't come up. So you can choose whoever you wanted to win. You're a winner. Everyone's a winner.
They're there, Si. They're there now.
What is it?
It's
72% Marvel.
Cool.
117 votes as well.
That's very
Not
good.
bad, guys. Thank you for voting. You all rock. Coming up from me, I have that infamous Bricks and Pieces order that I said I was going to make a video on. That is coming up. I have a video that I'm going to call something like I kept this from Brickitect or something. It's something you have a tower of that I decided I need one of those before Brickitect gets them all.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's really good. I think I bought 2 of them. Really good little set. I'm going to put it when it's built into the Pal Cinema in the foyer, so people can. Better not say what it is.
Perfect. Yeah.
Then on Thursday or Wednesday, I think, is it on my channel? I can never remember where it is. Where's the backlog? My channel or yours?
Well, just so you know, it's Wednesday, and it's going to be on your channel.
Wednesday on my channel. The backlog.
And anyone who's going to be tuning into it, it's 8 o'clock, or at least actually, I'll tell you what it'll be. It's Si's channel, so it's going to be about 7 minutes past 8 o'clock, and that's 7 minutes past 3 p.m. In USA EST time.
Yes, I get there early at 5 past. No, be on time. I'll be on time this year. I have a routine now. I remember Greg sent me a little email, and it was, I didn't even read it, but he sent me an email. I just clicked on the link. It said, "Si, remember your water, your cable, and your charger." And I remembered everything today, so I'm kind of getting in that routine.
Well done.
Sweets. No, I had what did I have? I had soup beforehand. I was explaining that I was having the soup. You eat soup or drink soup. Anyway, it's bread, and I blew on it, and I blew the soup all over the laptop. Somehow I blew it onto my own face, and it was all over me. And yeah,
you blew it onto your face. How did you do that?
How do you do? I don't know.
You can pour it on your
aggressive
face,
blow.
Yeah, he's got some lungs. That Si.
And what did I write down here? Oh, show Iron Man. So here is Iron Man that Greg built.
He's all done.
Iron Man.
I'm a notoriously slow builder, but I was able to get it done during
You're
this
not as slow as
thing.
me.
So that was awesome. I had a great time.
That's good. I'm glad you got it built. I think, well, some of the people in the community have created their own reference or time reference, and it's called the speed of Psi. So like that means they build really slow. One live stream I put 17 bricks together. The people expect it now. They're surprised when we build something. They're like, is this really the right channel? Crazy.
That's okay. You're having a good time. That's all that matters.
I want to thank everyone who gave the donations today. I think it was Lorraine and Monarch. Just want to say goodbye to everybody as well. So Lorraine, Jude, Fooling with Bricks, Zan. I'm just going to pop on your names. We had Lego Madness, Slug Biker, Zan, I think said Zan already. Zan was out and about. I asked Zan today. She was out and about today. She's a new YouTuber, Greg. Really charismatic. Bonkers in a good way. We all love her. We think she's so cool and funny, and you have to meet her next time as well. Joanna from High Tea Toys, Aaron, Lyndon, London Bridge Bricks, Locked Door Tim, Chris earlier on that I can't pronounce that name, Dart.
Gurjira.
What they say. Snot Okay was here. I'll have to learn that. Miss Amby, tons of people. Mayo was here. Tons of people. FLX, I hope I said hello. Tommy Seabricks, Mr. Saurus was here. We had Mark, the generous Mark. We Slug Biker. There's Mr. Saurus. Tons of people. So I'll leave it there now. And hopefully I've gotten most of you or all of you. Joe Brickstage was here as well, and a young man called Brickstage Pass. What a great guy. Thank you for being here, everybody on the panel. I really appreciate it. And finally, we got Greg on, and hopefully you'll come on again. We won't be interrogating you the next time, I promise. We'll interrogate someone else and you can join in.
Okay.
So take care. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing your Saturday with us, and we'll see